Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pub. It is Saturday night. I hope you all are doing well and had a nice holiday if you celebrate. If not, I hope you had a nice week, anyways. So, welcome, whomever you might be. Merry Christmas. Last Dance, thanks for being here, bud. Just Steve-O, what's up, man? RW restarting. Okay, not a problem. RW trying to probably iron out some technical issues. I'm going to lean back now just to do a sound check. How is it from this distance? Good. Okay, so yeah, I'm realizing now for some reason this thing reverts back to low volume state for input seemingly every week now. I don't know why that is, but who knows? Whatever. The HP I'm not super happy with. I'm having another slight issue with it, but for the money you can't beat it. There's RW. How are you? Good to see you, man. Good. Awesome. Some interesting things going on with some airstrikes going on in Nigeria, so we can definitely discuss that. And anything else, any fun stuff you guys want to discuss, I'm always happy to go wherever it goes. So let's check that. We got a little, oh cool, new earbuds. Cool. Are they wireless or wired? Yes, they are wireless. I got these earbuds. These were wired, obviously. Amazon Basics, which I've come to realize is a pretty good brand, and these are USB-C. So they work on my phone when I want to chat with my buddy, hands-free and stuff. So yeah, there's some good stuff out there on Amazon Basic. Don't ignore it because it sounds cheap. Oh, look at that. When you click on private chat, it shows studio chat 3 people. I guess it's showing 3 people in the chat, which is something you don't see in the comments chat. Interesting. Oh no, it's 3 people because it's us 3. Okay, so we're the only ones who are on StreamYard. I get it. Nothing new here. All right, let me get this thing going. What's up? How are you, bud?
Hey, Merry Christmas, and hope you had a great Christmas and good days after it as well.
For sure. You sound quiet now.
Am I?
Your mic settings are high, very high. Is there settings on your computer that are turned down?
Well, let me. Yeah, looks good. Audio.
No, you're fine.
I think you're maxed out.
Yeah, I think you're good as long as your settings are fine. Let other people mention it. But I had, truth be told, my volume was turned down.
Okay.
my earphone volume. So
well, now we got our audio straightened out.
Yeah, we're good. So yeah, you being a follower of the old book, do you celebrate Christmas?
Sort of. I do. In fact, I go to I'll go to any Christmas event. And
do you celebrate Hanukkah at all?
No, not really.
More Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really quote celebrate it in the sense that I'm not religious, period. So it's the religious aspects I appreciate, but they don't resonate with me. Perhaps that's the word. So
sure.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I went to a Christmas meal and gift giving event at my girlfriend's niece's house. That's a family get together for her family that lives around here.
Was it a Yankee swap?
A Yankee swap? I don't know what that is, but we
You
did have gift giving.
Oh, you've never been to a Yankee swap?
Never even heard of it.
No kidding. Maybe it's something only us Yankees do. So you go to a party, everyone brings a gift, and everyone, if there's 40 people, then you write numbers 1 through 40 and you put them in a hat, and then you draw at random, and the person who gets number 1 can take any gift at any time. So everyone has their gift, and basically gifts start being opened, or they can be stolen at any time. Anybody with a higher number, so a 39 can take only a 40, but then the 38 can take 39 and 40, and so on down the line. So the number 1 ends up having, the pick of the
Okay.
litter, if you will.
I did go to something like that once at work.
Uh-huh.
They weren't expensive gifts. They were mostly fun gifts. Some of them are gag gifts.
Right.
But yeah, some of them, you'd see it and you'd say, yeah, that's kind of cool in a goofy
Right.
way.
Sure.
And so you'd want that one. And
Yeah.
there was a way that I don't remember the rules, to be honest. It was that long ago, but there was a way where some people could swap and get
Mhm.
that gift.
Yeah, the ones I've been to and I'm familiar with, generally the people who bring like the high-end booze, those ones are the most sought after by most people. And then, like you said, there's the other stuff. Either it's a gag gift or some random homey gift or something that maybe like somebody who is not a big drinker might be into. But
yeah.
All right, cool. Sounds like you had fun. Did you get anything or give anything good?
I didn't give anything good other than a bottle of whiskey.
Yep. It's always good.
Yeah, I'm the husband. The niece's husband is an alcohol drinker. He's not. I don't think he's an alcoholic, but he likes whiskey.
Sure.
And so I got him one of my favorite whiskeys that I've had in this long sequence. I got him a bottle of that.
Nice.
The Ardbeg.
I remember it. I was going to say it was at the Ardbeg, and that was that's single malt Scotch.
Yep.
Very nice. There he is. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How do I sound?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
A little bit boxy, but it's good, loud.
Okay. I noticed that on my other plug-in mic that I've been using most of the time, it doesn't have a solid volume. Even when I turn automated volume off, it's like quiet at times and it's never consistent. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know if it's the mic or my laptop or what. Doesn't really matter. Just I noticed when I go back and watch our streams that my audio is all over the place.
I think it's pretty good right now. It's like I said, there's not a lot of high end, there's not a lot of low end. You're right there in the middle, kind of middle tone, but I can hear you loud and clear. It works for me. Last Dance, same. Do you feel like?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Yeah.
If I just turned off echo cancellation, does that change anything?
No.
It's fine. It's about the same.
That's cool. That's cool. It's good to see you guys again. Scum's been MIA for 2 days, so I reached out to new crews. It's nice to get back with people I know and
Sure.
have a familiar conversation.
Yep. He did an unusually early stream for him a couple of days ago. It was odd. It's like normal. It said not Scum Hours, I think was the title of it.
Fair enough. Like, holy crap, I'm still awake. What's going on?
Yeah, it was weird, but I think it was Thursday. And
Fair
I
enough.
worked
I'm trying to do the
Friday.
scummies, the scum awards. I'm trying to bug them to do that. We'll see if it happens.
RW, well, when you took echo cancellation off, I noticed a difference.
Are you on? You're on a phone too, correct?
Yeah, you should leave it on, I think. But I wasn't
Leave echo
connected at that point. I was in the back at that point.
Okay.
But
You're
when
saying
you
to-
said
to-
put it on.
You're saying to put it back on.
Yeah.
Could
All right.
fine with me either way.
It was just that when you said it and you've done it like immediately, I could tell straight away.
All right, cool. As long as y'all can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, I think we'll be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it matters for people without headphones more than for me because I can hear I can hear you loud either way. So, but yeah, welcome,
I-
Welshman.
Good
Just a
evening,
quick
everyone.
question for Last Dance before I forget. Last Dance, are you a materialist? Is that your view?
What?
Materialist.
No.
The philosophy of materialism.
As far as I know, I'm not a materialist.
Okay.
I mean, everybody is at some level, right?
Materialist means that you believe that all of reality comes down to material, tangible atoms. There's no spiritual aspect. Everything can be explained by material.
Well, I have never. I'm not aware of that philosophy. It sounds fairly close to my beliefs, but I don't. I'm not someone who looks for a philosophy to adopt and trumpet.
A credo.
That's fair.
Yeah. I honestly thought you were saying materialistic, but no, you're saying
No,
something-
not the same.
Like
Not
Madonna, the material girl, right?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not
She's
that.
so attractive these days. Great role model.
Yeah. She really
like
went
a
off
Train wreck.
downhill. I mean, I never really found her to be that attractive, but in the 80s, she wasn't bad. I mean, and she did a couple of kind of funny movies. Desperately Seeking Susan was one. And I can't remember the other one. It might have been named Material Girl.
There's a prime example of feminism gone bad.
I think it all went downhill from the pointy bra. That was pretty much the pinnacle, you could say.
That would have been around the time of the Express Yourself tour or Vogue, maybe? Vogue?
I think that was Vogue, yeah.
I mean, happens to all of them, you know. Britney Spears in her prime was a fabulous dancer. She was never much of a singer, but like she really could command a stage with her motions, her hip thrusts, and she was really quite a dancer. And now you see her fucking falling down on these random Instagram videos, and she just looks so awkward and uncoordinated. It's like, how can that be the same person who was like
Pharmaceutical drugs, man.
She shared this stage with Michael Jackson, and they like tore it up together. And yeah, it's just wild, you know. But right,
it's almost like Hollywood can consume people.
Seemingly,
yeah. I mean, RW just said prescription drugs, and it's very much true. I believe that it's captured a lot of stars and it's destroyed them internally.
She's a special case also because she's a special case because she wasn't even in control of her own life. Her father was her handler.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, that was weird. Her hey, cup of tea. I don't know if I've seen you for a while, man.
Yeah, welcome back, dude.
Good to have you.
Kylie Minogue, not bad either. He's not wrong there. But yeah, she was under his conservatorship for years and years, which was pretty wild.
It's like new age slavery. You can own someone's being legally on paper.
You know, I'm not sure I'd go that far. It certainly is a restriction on freedom, though. But how could a court have granted conservatorship without at least some evidence that she was incompetent to take care of her own, at least financial well-being?
I think that if you get enough powerful people in a room, they can make decisions against you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that if there's a judge involved, and there will be, then that's not going to happen.
Well,
unless the judge isn't a very good person.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it happens.
We know the law system. you base yours off ours, and to be fair,
Yours is more
ours
entertaining, Walshy.
Ours is corrupt as fuck. I mean, look at some of the high-profile people that have been sent down in our British justices, and recently, again, people. Well, Tommy Robinson, when he got sent to prison for reporting on a case that was already public knowledge, he actually read the names of the perps that just got convicted, and he read their names from a BBC article which was published 6 weeks before. He gets arrested and spends, I think it was like for 4 months or 5 months in solitary confinement.
Was that
he won't even, that
was
years
that when
ago.
he got busted for contempt of court?
Yeah, that was the contempt.
That was the one. It was Leeds Crown Court. It was a gang rape and grooming trial, basically. And he literally, on his other phone that he had, he read their names out off a BBC article. And that BBC article was published 6 weeks previous. He's literally reading their names off. They just got convicted.
What I'm wondering about is, did he directly disobey a judicial order?
No, because everything he said was already in the public domain. And he was doing so on public land. The only thing I thought he might have messed up on is he encroached court property. But the way around that is Section 33, which is a public place. It's not restricted. So basically, there was no gates on it saying it was restricted. You could walk across it and not know it's private property. So that's the only grey bit. But basically, there's many examples of.
That's a good point.
I mean, we've had many people sent down for those for the disorder last summer, and some of the people were sent down for swearing at a police dog.
Police
He
dog.
called a police dog. I think he called a police dog a cunt or something. Fucking bastard.
Oh,
Well,
poor doggy. I'm surprised the dog pressed charges.
Well, he got time for it.
I was talking to a guy from the UK last night on a different stream, and he was going out, calling out the UK, saying they should be wiped and all this and that. I'm like, bro, you're very bold to be saying that stuff, because I know you don't have the freedom to do that. So good luck.
What did he say?
He was basically saying that he thinks that the leadership and the royal family should be no more.
Right. Yeah.
That's a bit
yeah,
across the line when it comes to what you guys are getting in trouble for. So I was sweating for him.
Well, I mean, you'd get into trouble for saying shit like that against a politician, wouldn't you?
I don't know. I have no clout. I'm just some retard on the internet, so I don't think so.
Well, it depends if you're saying by no more that they should cease to exist, or they should be forcibly removed from existence.
It depends whether it's a true threat or not. And in the U.S., a true threat is somewhat of a high bar.
Who decides that?
Well, who decides it ultimately is a judge. But
what about in the UK? Can the royal family decide that was a true threat against themselves?
I have no idea how the royal. They used to just drag you to the Tower of London and then take you off and have your head cut off. I don't know if the laws have changed.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Damn
do you know what we do now? Do you know, this is amazing. This is a chap that is in his tweets recently. Well, in the last 10 years, that he hates whitey people. He wants to unalive all these whitey people, all in these tweets, and they're saying, "Oh, the whitey people are being good, but I want them all dead." And then
are albino people grouped into that?
And the Jews, of course, white people and the Jews, of course. But what was crazy is Keir Starmer has just done a tweet saying, "Oh, thanks. I'm so pleased this Abdul's back in the country. He's not a British citizen. He was given temporary stay because it's supposed to be persecution. But this guy, I have literally read about 20 tweets that he's done.
That
in the
guy.
last 10 years.
Yeah, I've
heard
heard
about the guy.
Yeah, I've seen some of his tweets.
Today,
And-
they were all
yeah.
over Twitter.
Yeah, and the crazy
Your
thing
mic's
about
very
it, right?
close to your earbuds, buddy.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. How's that now?
Check one. Better.
Yeah, basically, we've had the Prime Minister, we've had the Foreign Secretary, Yvette Cooper, I think it is, we've had David Lammy. These are the top, like, three, well, they're retards, especially David Lammy. But they've literally given tweets today saying, oh, it's brilliant news. It's brilliant news. So literally, you have literally said it's brilliant news that someone who was jailed for 12 years in Egypt, right? Sam Abdul has now said all this crazy shit on Twitter over the last 10 years, and they pulled them all out. And they think it's a great thing that he's in the country. It's literally,
Are you guys
we're
guys
going out of our way
canceling?
to import enemies.
Are you guys canceling any New Year's events? Because that's in the news feed for United States that there's a lot of security and cancellation of New Year's events because of that specific threat.
I haven't heard of any, or I haven't heard of that at all, RW, to tell you the truth.
So
Do you want a
there's been
link?
Sure, throw it in the private. I'll check it out.
Yeah, no worries.
There's been loads of cancellations through Europe and through the UK. Christmas ones. I think Sheffield comes to mind, but I think I heard about half a dozen towns that, and their specific reason for not having them was for security costs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them, but I feel like all the major metropolitan areas are still going to have their first night celebrations. You know, Boston, Philly, DC, obviously New York. They all have big parties, and they're all somewhat vulnerable. And I guess that's just the reality of it. I wouldn't go.
Poland.
I would never go.
Poland spend the money. Poland spend the money on really nice sort of Victorian decorations and lights all the way through the whole town and the city. We spend the money on people that have just arrived in the country with high-vis jackets and loads of like pallets of like 1,000 liters of water, like temporary diversity barriers, doing a protective shield around like a very small area. That's what we do. But in Poland and in Moscow, I've seen the markets in Moscow and Poland, and it's nothing like the markets in Europe or in America. Nothing like.
Last Dance, do you maximize it and then you look at the chat on the bottom right?
Yeah.
But then you can't, there's no typing bubble to respond to people.
Well, I have to go over to my other window anyways to respond.
Wow.
I
fancy.
see.
Yeah.
And you can't highlight chats when you have the overlay chat.
Well, you can't highlight the one on the full screen. That's true.
Right. Just
That's it's not a YouTube feature. It's a StreamYard feature. So
right.
Right.
it's just a
I
display.
For as much people as are onboarding to StreamYards over the last year, I really hope that they do a user interface upgrade because they should be making a lot more money these days.
You know
And there's
they are.
totally a bunch of quality of life things that they could do like that to create a chat bubble
Great.
option for full screen.
I want the simple option of being able to have a guest and turn off their video.
Camera. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That would kill half the trolls.
With
The lazy trolls.
that guy that stalks Welshmen, he'd be out of business.
Yeah. He'd
Wait,
be
so-
losing a lot of money for his dresses and high heels.
Yeah,
Only I have the ability to shut my camera off.
correct.
That is correct, sir.
Each person has the ability to shut their own camera off.
But a mod can't, and that's
I see what
absolutely
you're saying.
silly. That's like Discord 101 right there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you are correct. Huh. Why don't they
Crinkle.
all-
Yes. Crinkle. Thank you. Libertarian minded.
Yeah, I mean, that would pretty much put all those guys out of business
Yep.
because it's a visual prank, really, unless they go with the audio one, which would be
Yeah, it's what That's a minor thing, someone says a naughty word or you hear someone moaning or something.
Right. The visuals is what gives you strikes against
Yeah.
your financial income on YouTube.
It's not the same as scat porn.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're right.
Nothing's the same as, doesn't matter.
The hell?
What have you guys been paying attention to over the last week? I've been trying to see what is important. I think the most, honestly, in my opinion, the most interesting event was U.S. intervention in Africa with missile strikes. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say the same, RW.
Why? In your view?
I was. It's radio. The Radio Times or the Times Radio YouTube channel. One of their videos came up. I had a look at it, and it was titled "Genocide" in Nigeria, and basically they were saying there's no proof of genocide in Nigeria, and there's also a Muslim mosque got attacked as well. So yeah, and they basically, you've got mainstream media. It seems to be like the old narrative. They're going on this genocide route, and they're denying it's a genocide. It's funny how it's genocide in Gaza, but it's not genocide. It's just funny how they just sort of like play with the words and use them when it suits their narrative. For all accounts, Trump bad because it's not a genocide. That's basically what they're saying. Doesn't matter they're killing hundreds and hundreds of Christians a week. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It means
how does it
not a genocide.
How does it work
Trump
though
bad.
on the world stage if a leader of one country airstrikes another country for religious purposes? I mean, how does that work?
Well, when it's
That
the
works.
United States, or nobody can really do shit. So pretty much, we get it.
I mean, it's what you've been doing for many, many decades. There's no
Right.
difference. I mean, I'm not against this. I mean, there's been no civilian casualties reported, and it looks like they took out some bad boys. As
Yeah, I don't know
Joe
about the
Biden would say.
logistics of the strike. I just know we did it, and I think that it's an interesting breach of. I don't know. I feel like we're bending rules of engagement for the definition of an act of war.
Okay. So Obama done so many drone strikes. If I pull it up, if I do a search now, he bombed I don't know how many countries, right? But I know he was pretty fucking frisky when it came to doing drone strikes all over the fucking world.
What was his reasoning? What was his reasoning?
Trump's?
Well,
No, Obama.
So I don't know what his reasoning was. My point is, this is not unusual in any way because you're saying that they're bending the rules. Nothing's changed. It's about the Venezuela bit. The only difference is
I think the narrative changed though. The narrative changed because we're striking them for terrorist acts. Now we're striking them in the name of Christianity, defending and heralding Christianity. It's to me, it's slightly different.
Well, I mean, if the problem you've got is with Christianity and the connotations of Christianity on it, I mean, whatever. But the reality is that they're killing hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, and they're going about and slaughtering everyone in the village. They're all being knocked out.
Well,
So,
I mean, why the question, the responsibility for protecting their citizens belongs to whatever country those citizens are. In this case, Nigeria. Now, if Nigeria is unwilling to protect their citizens, that's one thing. But if they're just not able, because of incompetence or lack of resources, then but the thing we should try first is to provide them with what they need, so they could do it themselves. It shouldn't be us firing missiles from our cruisers and our locations and our planes in some foreign country like Nigeria which is,
Well-
as far as I know, not a failed state.
But we were attacking ISIS.
Anybody could say they're
Yeah.
ISIS. They're in
Right.
Nigeria. Why isn't Nigeria? Why isn't Nigeria
That-
doing something about it? That's the question.
Yeah, well, basically, Al Qaeda's like sort of disintegrated, and it's
Yeah.
moved into this ISIS Daesh sort of group in Nigeria now. So
Right, I
it's
agree.
just, you know, that you know, as Joe would say, they're bad dudes. They're bad dudes.
I mean, personally, I've seen some recent videos of people running for their lives from armed, guys that are going through villages, just taking shots at people and killing people. And it appears there is some major unrest going on there. And the people who are doing the killing do appear to be at the least Muslim extremists, which we know we've dealt with in the past, and they do appear to be killing or targeting non-conformists, especially non-Muslims. So
I'm not
Yeah.
disputing that that's happening. I'm just saying why isn't Nigeria?
So, from
checking
my
that.
understanding is that they wanted to stop, but they can't. They just haven't got the geographical power around the country to stop this happening, because it's happening in different parts of the country as well, not just in one place.
Yeah,
I mean, do they have the capability to do airstrikes?
I would assume so.
No, I don't think
I
so.
would think so. I would think they have at least 5 jets in that nation.
5 jets.
Well, I mean,
Correct,
what
sir.
kind of anti-aircraft weaponry does ISIS have? I would venture nothing or almost nothing. So you could just have
Yeah.
like a propeller plane, and they would be defenseless.
Crop dust those bastards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose a
A
Spitfire
propeller
would probably
plane.
do pretty good.
Did you call it a propeller plane?
Hmm.
When you said that, it made me think of Pinochet, but it wasn't.
What I mean is, you don't
Propeller
need.
plane.
You're not going up against, a country with anti-aircraft or a group with anti-aircraft.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you don't need.
It wasn't long ago when they were dropping oil drums off helicopters as bombs. Where was that? That was Syria. That was.
It was Syria,
Remember
right.
that? Yeah, it
Barrel
was coming back to me.
Like in the
governments
80s?
were dropping. They were
No,
dropping big fucking oil
2014.
barrels bombs.
2014?
Yeah,
Depth charges from
Yeah,
the
it was
sky.
good.
That's brilliant.
they called them barrel bombs. They would put, all kinds of crap in these,
Yeah.
or in a big pile of explosives too, and sometimes poisons.
Yeah,
And they-
and you could see it get like pushed up the helicopter.
They just push them out.
Who were they killing? Who were they unaliving? Algorithm.
They were unaliving rebels fighting them.
They have some decent looking vintage planes. They have the
B-52
Embracer,
barrels on them?
the Embraer 314 Super Tucano, which is a sharp looking little prop
Well,
plane.
that's more than enough to.
It's a prop plane. Though. You shoot at that with a rifle, man.
They do have some Chengdu J7s, which
Wow.
What do you think the odds are? A lot of these, like, lot like built up countries has like a couple of MiGs or a couple of like F-16s from like the 70s or the 80s.
well, the
and they're
Chengdu
basically-
Air 7, the Chengdu 7 came into existence in 1962, and that's their main
Right.
lead
So-
jet.
so- Well, I mean, what's the odds the planes are barely flyable? Majority of the systems are fucking not working.
I don't know.
It's not telling anyone.
Where do they still make parts for those things?
It's probably some clone of a MiG,
Timo?
Yeah, that's what it is.
and
All the fits are all the parts are interchangeable. Like
yeah,
an AK, is
One
it
of
a
those goofy
Kalashnikov?
planes
It's quite the same, isn't it?
One of those goofy planes where the intake for the jet engine is on the nose cone, which is a really
Right.
silly look. So that, I guess, it does seem like a wild design, but hey, what do I know? But yeah, they clearly they don't have intelligence probably like we have to and they wouldn't be able to strategically attack and kill just the bad guys. I would think if Nigeria did it, there might be some or more collateral damage possibly.
Yeah, that's what I would sort of think would
but
happen.
Again, that goes to the bigger question: are we the world police? Are we going to, is this just something that gained a lot of traction on social media? And all the Christians, said, this is happening over there, Trump. And Trump said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to hit them on Christmas Day.
Well, they weren't celebrating it, so I don't think it really affected them differently. Just affected them in general.
For the optics, I think Trump was thinking,
I guess.
I'm not. I know you're talking about this plea, being the world police, and I totally get it, and I've been saying it for many years. The difference is the world police going into wars, right? I don't mind, stepping in occasionally to sort out some wrong-uns, right, and giving them a kick in the ass. I think that's always going to be but that's what you should be doing, and that's what you should have been doing. But instead, you want to go into false wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff and cause fucking carnage in the whole region. But just bomb fuck out of them, take 30 of them out, and then come back 18 months later and have another pop on them. I mean, that's what you should be doing.
It's not. I hear what you're saying, and I wish it was that simple. I really do. But you don't.
There's no deaths this way. There's no deaths that way, is there? I mean, like what you've been doing. You've been going in and then losing loads of fucking allies.
Well, you don't get the last word just because you fire some missiles. They will activate cells and conduct terrorist attacks against Americans either abroad or in the United States. So.
Am I the only one that's fear-mongered that New Year's Eve is going to be an ugly experience around the world?
Well,
it's certainly an obvious target for terrorists.
Yeah, funny you're saying that. I watched the video earlier on, and there was a whistleblower that worked for MI5 and MI6. He infiltrated multiple his cells, etc. And he said there's 100 sleeper cells he believes in the UK. Just literally.
That's probably a small number.
Even if you took 1 0 off that, and if you told me there was 10 sleeper cells in the UK, that would be extremely concerning. And he's been involved in multiple cases over decades. Just come out now, and that's what he's just said. And he said the threat levels at the moment in the UK is through the roof. Now, this was released yesterday, today. So, he's saying
that's what Starmer said.
You're saying, no, this whistleblower.
Oh, but who is the whistleblower?
He basically he's like an agent, and he just released it publicly now.
Oh,
and
did he
like an
MI6? Did he identify himself?
What's that?
Did he identify himself, or is he anonymous?
No, I believe he's identified himself. He has, because I see.
Well, rest in peace, that guy.
Does he work for Boeing too?
I think he's a chef for Obama.
I can get the link if you want to. I can get the link. I'm sure I can get the link. But it's he's named himself. He does look like a Middle Eastern, but he's been involved in many cases, sending many people down. So.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, cool.
I was going to say, because RW mentioned before that there's fear mongering. Do you mean fear mongering on our end that more attacks are going to happen, or what do you mean?
On the internet in general, but also am I just more perceptive to believe that it's going to happen for my own confirmation bias, or is everyone else in the panel kind of having the same vibe where there is elevated Muslim threat extremist activity over the last couple weeks, and it's a thing.
I think you're right.
After the Nigerian airstrikes, I think the threat level has
Increased.
gone up drastically.
Yeah.
Or I'm just kidding. I don't know. it could have him.
Hey,
I don't
Riddle,
think it really helps anything. What's up?
have you been driving around safely in your booster seat this week?
No.
No. I know California passed that new law. I just wanted to make sure you were safe on the road.
The booster seat. Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, you got it up to 16 years old.
Fucking hell.
Doesn't make any sense. Hi, Lee.
It's the
How are
most
you?
asinine law I've heard in a long time, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there's a point where you just kind of forget that you live in such a ridiculous state that passes such ridiculous things.
Hoorah.
I don't know. Anyways, but as for the threat, I think it's there's a good, like, I personally, I don't think much is going to happen, but I can totally understand why, because there has actually been, like you said, within the last month, a bunch of Islamic terrorism. So it could happen. Yeah. I mean, I can't argue against it. But
Well, a lot of the attacks have been foiled before they've actually been carried out. A lot of them have been stopped on the 11th hour. And in the UK, the program I watched today with this whistleblower, or this character who works for MI5, MI6, he said it's Iranian based at the moment. This is what he said. It's very much Iranian based. So I don't know what.
What does that mean?
Iran.
Well, it's that they're Shias for a start, but to do
Well,
with.
They don't typically; those are not typically self-actuating groups.
Yeah.
They only act on command from Tehran.
Well, he totally said sleeper cells. So,
Well, yeah,
makes
there's
sense.
no doubt about that. It's been, I don't know that I've ever seen any proof of it, but I certainly heard it mentioned that Iran has Hezbollah sleeper cells all over the U.S., the U.K., even south of our border in Mexico to come up and infiltrate when they're called.
So basically, Last Dance, that's exactly what he said. This is exactly what he said. The Iranian regime has got Hezbollah sleeper cells throughout the world and the UK. Literally, just what you said. So
Yeah, Iran uses that as a negotiating ploy. It seems strange that a country would use terrorism in negotiations, but that's what Iran does.
They don't have much else.
Yeah,
I mean, they tried to make some other shit, and we blew it to Kingdom Come with a giant bomb.
yep.
So I
So
mean,
the threat is if you step over a line that we're not going to say exactly where it is. And I'm surprised, to be honest, I'm surprised these airstrikes on their nuclear facility didn't trigger that. But if you step over that line, we will activate these cells and they will conduct terrorist attacks. And they're very well trained as opposed to, these morons we've had from ISIS and Al Qaeda.
What if?
thing is,
Here's a thing. I'm sorry, real quick. What if there's a thing like that Iran is not actually as strong as they claim to be with these cells?
Well, what I really think happened, and this is my conspiracy theory that you can hold me, you could say I'm a hypocrite, but I believe things like the airstrike on Iran's nuclear facilities were not what they appear to be. And I believe the other airstrikes against Iranian targets are not what they appear to be. I think they're mostly coordinated in advance with Iran for
Relief
public
tension.
relations, because it benefits both countries to pretend to accomplish a military objective, and it also benefits them to not actually kill anybody, because that would necessitate reaction. So
Boy, that's unusually conspiracy
It
theory
is.
for
It is.
you.
I mean,
I think it makes sense though. I mean, if they're going to strike it, like the U.S. is already dedicated to striking it, you might as well communicate with the government to get your people out.
Okay. Let's just follow just sort of like the narrative, should we say, or but the logic as well.
The theory,
So-
yeah.
So basically, Iran were in the final stages of. But this was said for 10 years past anyway. But anyway, from what I see, that they fucked around, and they realised that Trump is a very strong leader. Because Trump turned around and it was conflicting advice, and he said, "No, fuck it, bang, done." And he went in there and he fucking blew the smithereens out of the fucking places, and that was that. They know not to fuck around.
it's
When
it's possible. I'm not saying that couldn't be true.
You know, they knew not to retaliate. If they retaliated and maybe even fired just one missile, an intercontinental missile.
No, that's
I think
not how they would retaliate.
Region.
I'll contradict what you're saying, Last Dance, by saying the thing that we always talk about is that if this some sort of high-level secretive negotiation took place between the two countries, then that means there's a fair amount of people on both sides who would have knowledge of that. And if that information ever came out, it would be extremely detrimental to both sides.
That's true.
I want to make a point towards the political climate in the United States right now. There's already a lot of people in the United States that are anti-Islam, and if any terror cells would choose to strike, it would have to be hard, fast, and heavy, and it would be their last opportunity to do it for X period of time, because they would basically be removed like Japan was in World War II.
It's inevitable. You're going to get the attacks that Europe and the UK have got. In the UK, for example, I think it was last year, they quashed, I think it was 11 attacks in their final stages in the UK in the 12 months. So it was literally near enough one a month that they quashed in their final stages. And sometimes, sadly, we know nothing about some of these characters, these Mohammedans, because they're just lone act. They just literally, they're just on their own doing it. If you know what I mean. So they're the ones that a lot of the intelligence agencies can't get hold of because they're not really in communication. They're just on their own doing their thing. And it's inevitable. The problem you've got, not like in other parts of the world. When you bring these types of people in, you're going to bring the bad types in with them, and then you're going to end up with the same results. Hostile vehicles will be one of yours. I think you've had a hostile vehicle before, but I don't think it was the Mohammedans. But
Right.
I'm not 100%.
We had one, Timothy McVeigh. You could classify that.
Well, that was a bloody hostile vehicle. But
Yeah.
there's a conspiracy theory on that one. But
let's
you had one in New
Let's stick to this, and we can transition off. But so, are you saying, Last Dance, that this mountain are you saying that Iran actually did have something being developed in this mountain that we blew up?
Yeah, I'm sure they had.
And you're saying that they agreed to this sort of thing, this sort of operation?
No, I'm not exactly saying that. I'm saying they agreed to pretend that this attack destroyed all their capabilities.
That means we agreed to accept that it was pretend.
Yeah. But you originally said that they had cooperation together. I mean, obviously they're going to lie and say, you didn't really hit us, or you did hit us, and make whatever narrative they want. That's accepted. But you were saying that the U.S. government and the Iranian government, coordinated together.
Here's part of my doubt, because it's not. Iran is quite, they're not a typical, third world country. They're pretty sophisticated. and it would be a mistake to underestimate their sophistication and their long-term thinking. They do play chess, and they would know what our capabilities are in terms of bunker busters, and they know how to build strengthened concrete. They know how to do all these things. They would know how to build a fortress, an underground bunker that could be resistant to our bunker buster bombs. Now, it's expensive, but so is any nuclear program. That's very expensive. So why would you skimp on the protection? I mean, you were already putting it underground. Why not design it to be pretty impervious to conventional bunker buster explosives? With enough feet of concrete, you're not going to get through.
Conventional what we dropped wasn't conventional.
Oh, yes, it was conventional.
I don't.
My understanding, it was.
All right. What's your
state-of-the-art.
definition of conventional?
Well, it was conventional as opposed to nuclear. It was conventional explosives.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant like common.
No, not common.
All right, so you got a lot of doubt. I mean, you're a skeptic at heart, which is good. It's healthy to be. But to your point, also the Nigerian strikes. Do you think it's kind of similar to that, with this? Because this was approved apparently by the Nigerian government before it happened, right? So they were cooperating with the government, the U.S. government.
That's a good thing.
Which is a good thing, yeah. But they were saying it was an ISIS target for genocide of Christians. Now that's the narrative, right? So do you mean like it could also possibly be something else that we're not told about?
No, I'm not applying my theory to
that.
The airstrike on ISIS.
Okay. All right, just curious. Because I mean that would kind of make sense, right? That it's not just as simple as they're saying as it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can't negotiate with ISIS. They're too violent and too stupid. It would be impossible.
Yeah. Okay.
For the most part, these are basically chimpanzees given guns and told to.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how Iran operates a lot of the time too.
Well,
look at the Ayatollah. I mean, look at how their whole regime is radical. Now, I'm not saying they're monkeys with guns. They're not that crazy.
Well, ixnay on the chimpanzee, monkey.
You even hurt Welshman's feelings. Damn.
Oh,
bloody hell.
Yeah, I meant by it was behavior oriented, not anyways. Okay, yeah, ixnay on that. That's fine.
No,
but,
it's okay.
Sorry. But yeah, just because you said rational people that you could talk to. I don't know how rational.
You got to be a bit more descriptive if you want to describe them. I think the word begins with one S and the other one with N. I don't know if.
Nope.
You want to? Bloody hell. Nope. Riddle got onto that one quick.
Well, yeah, we all know that one, but it's not for these airwaves.
Well, anyways, so when it comes to reasoning with governments or any kind of, I don't know what you would call it, because ISIS is not really a government. They're not. But anyways, I wouldn't call them particularly reasonable as well, because I don't know, they're kind
ISIS?
of Iran.
Oh, Iran. Yeah. Definitely not reasonable. No,
they're zealots. They're just a bunch of religious zealots. I mean, to your point though, Dance, I think they are reasonable enough to kind of coordinate with the U.S. to reduce casualties. But when it comes to striking what they I think the U.S. is just going to strike it anyways. And whether it's successful or not, that comes into another one of your theories by saying they were using conventional or non-conventional, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I've never seen airstrikes.
Belated Merry Christmas all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Lee. Good to hear from you.
Merry Christmas.
I hope you're doing well and your family.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much. I hope you are too, all of you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Lee.
Thank you.
Evening.
But yeah, so that's an interesting theory, though, Dance. I'll just say that it's interesting. But
I don't know. I don't
anyone
know
else?
I don't know what I've just missed there. But what always intrigues me or fascinates me is that for those extremists that come over to our country or any country and commit terrorism acts, at the end of the day, what if they don't like our lifestyle, they don't like our way of living? The only thing I can conclude is they don't have to come here. So if they are, then they're basically starting war because they just want to eradicate the people that live in that country and don't like the way that they live and the things that they believe. They're just, if just stay where you are if you don't like it. You don't have to come here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah,
For some reason, it really sucks where they are, and then they all want to be here, but then they want to change our shit into their shit, which we ain't having.
yeah, it's like
Can I-
it's like
can I
California.
ask-
It's like, go ahead.
Well, sorry, 2 seconds. Can I answer like Piers Morgan answered? Piers Morgan answered.
Yep.
Wow. I'd like a curry, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of bad British people around that I would want to deport out the country. And so, and the food's really good.
Pierce Morgan, dude, that guy, he tries to play both sides, but he's really bad at it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you
I
say,
think
he
Bill
has
Maher,
issues like trans. He stands up on, but like apart from trans, he likes to play the middle of everything, and he just make it ass at himself.
I think
Yeah,
Bill,
he does.
I think Bill Maher is a little more effective than him personally, but do I know?
I think he's more genuine, that's for sure. In that sense, yeah.
One, I'm sure Based has seen this story this week, which the government have had the piss taken out of them for. Is for a couple of weeks now, the armed forces have been beating the drum that we're close to going to war with Russia, which is all
Closer to your mic, Lee.
which is bullshit. Yeah, I know. I'm having a bit of problem with it. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Barely.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just got problems with this. I've got to go and buy a new one. So the government have been going on about or the armed forces. We've got to be careful. We're close to war with Russia, which is a load of rubbish. But they've launched this new campaign now this week, which is anyone up to I think it's 18 to 25 can volunteer to join the Army, Navy, or RAF for 1 year, and they'll get paid to try and increase the numbers. But their target for year one is 150 people.
150,000.
No, 150 people, and the year after they hope to get 1,000 people. So it's just an absolute joke because with surveys and polls that have been done, people just don't want to serve. The young just don't want to serve.
Yeah.
It's
Damn.
just comical.
Wow, we make like I think something like 100,000 Marines a year here, and that's just Marines. That's a small cut of the whole.
Yeah, but since Trump come in, you having problems recruiting a couple of years ago when Biden was in. As soon as Trump come in, not anymore. The relationship with Trump and the veterans is very strong. If not the Republicans in general, that Trump definitely is, and they filled up all the spaces. In fact, they over applicated of all accounts this year in America.
Yeah, they've been kicking ass, and
Right.
they were offering bonuses back at before Trump came on. They were offering like enlistment bonuses for guys of $60,000 to sign up for 6 more years, so it will be $10,000 a year. Like for say a staff sergeant on top of his staff sergeant pay, which is pretty good money. But even
For active
with
duty.
that, for active
And
duty, even with those
the only thing
incentives,
that's changed. The only thing that's changed is the president.
Right. Those incentives, people were still not rejoining. They weren't maintaining. They weren't signing up. And then he changed presidents, and the whole thing has changed.
I think a big part of that, though, was Trump brought back those people and back paid them who didn't take any pharmaceutical drugs and got kicked out. People didn't want to join and lose their pension because the government wanted them to do something they couldn't believe. I think that caused a lot of people to not.
There's an echo, and I think it's Lee, sadly. If you go on mute, Lee, see what happens.
Yeah, I think it is. It's this bloody.
Oh,
Do
Lee,
loud
we can
speaker
just
off
put
the-
on his echo cancellation and stuff. It's probably not set.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you go into your,
I'll fix it.
you can do it as well. Yeah, you can do it.
There, that should help.
Stay there, Lee. Talk.
Turn off
Yeah,
his camera
no.
too, so we don't have to see any midget porn or anything.
No,
We
no.
would be hearing it now,
Fine.
so it's already
Yeah,
reduced.
it's good.
Yeah,
It's
so-
much better.
There we
It's
go.
not completely gone.
Unless,
though.
unless they're smart and they put it on silent before they posted it.
You scared him off.
No, I'm here.
Oh, all right. That,
Yeah,
that
that's
shit
perfect.
really works. It went like from a bar room full of people mumbling to basically complete silence again. So
That's what it felt like when RW done it earlier on. I was literally the difference.
yeah, exactly. Just make sure everyone's got that set. Everyone does. Very good. So we're briefly the Timothy McVeigh thing had come up. Were you going to say something about that, Welshman?
Well, I've seen some programs about
Uh-huh.
and to say it doesn't really add up is
Oh God, not the shit again.
it doesn't seem to add up a lot. I'll have to have a look at the main points again, but there seems to be a definite second bomber there that seems to have disappeared completely.
Has anyone here ever seen the movie Bowling for Columbine?
I have not.
Long time ago.
Now, there's a man
was
featured in that who goes by the name of Terry Nichols.
Yes.
And he was, I don't know what part he held in the Oklahoma City bombing, federal building bombing, but I guess, did he get jail time or did he not?
I think he got substantial jail time, didn't he?
Well, he's in the movie, and he's a crazy guy, and he's got a 44. He sleeps with it under his pillow, which Michael Moore is talking to him in the movie, and the guy's acting pretty erratic. Very unusual dude, and yeah. But with regards to the bombing, I don't know what you're talking about, Welshman, about any of the other stuff there, but I don't know. That might have been the only Michael Moore movie that I was ever entertained by. Frankly.
Okay, so Michael McVeigh was the CIA building, yeah? Is it with the
Timothy
U-Haul
McVeigh.
trucks?
Yes.
And they stopped him in a car on the highway, yeah? Is that the guy?
I'm not sure. I know he had a rented truck, and that's how they caught him from the rental, I think, contract. Something like that.
The axle of the truck had like a serial number
I can
on it, and they were able to trace that to the owner, which was a rental company, and so that's how it all unveiled, I think.
That's not like the passport from 9/11, right?
I don't know.
The passport that when the plane blew up, the passport blew out of the plane and fell on the ground, and they picked it up, and it was intact, and they identified the bad
They
guys
said,
with
oh,
it.
look, they said, look, it's a terrorist within like 12 hours. Look. Yeah.
It's certainly unusual, that particular fact about it. But it's, again, not impossible. Look who it is. Happy Christmas.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
What's the
Happy
probability? Like 001?
As the famous Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber said, so you telling me there's a chance?
Oh
I
my
think it was
God,
Lloyd,
Steve.
but-
All right, man, that's cool.
Well, hey, I don't really believe that there was some massive conspiracy with that one, but if you do, that's your thing. That's fine.
Damn straight.
Good to see you, Topple. King
So do,
Charles
you,
Daniel.
so do you think tomorrow we'll finally get a peace deal with Ukraine and Russia? I personally don't think we will. I know
Why are you saying that? Is that
because
stated?
Zelensky's meeting Trump tomorrow, isn't he, with the new peace plan? He says
Over
that
here?
yeah, in Florida, yeah. He says that like 90% of it they can agree on, but the one thing they can't is territory and something else.
Yeah.
Well, Putin's made it very clear he
Yeah.
wants the Donbass, so that's why I don't think it's going to do anything personally.
Well,
I don't
Putin
think-
just blew up a bunch of fucking buildings in Kiev, however the fuck you say it. Like yesterday, was it, or the day before? It was like,
Yeah.
Putin, these peace talks go on, and Putin's like, peace talks.
I was going to say, like, does it even matter what Zelensky thinks? Like, he's not the one that has to come to an agreement or a peace deal. It's the other guy.
Well, I'll tell you, it's funny you should say that, because Zelensky's sort of drumming up support with European leaders and saying, we're nearly there. And then yesterday, Trump blew out the door and said, basically, I made the decision, so I'll see what he's got to say. But sort of pissed on his bonfire a bit.
I mean, if the EU wants to throw money at Ukraine, I mean, good on you. But
Yeah, it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
the sad thing about it all, right? The grounds that they've settled on, right, was virtually all made within the first month of the conflict, and since then, especially in the last year, consistently, Russia have just been sneaking away at it and just digging away at it, and it's just an attrition warfare, which sadly doesn't work out for the Ukrainians. The sheer numbers.
I'm not seeing any news on the feeds as well. I have my fingers in the pie, and I'm not really seeing any news for the last month.
There was a town called Petrogorsk or something, with P. It's been conquered like 5 days ago. Now, when I mean conquered, all the like the internet sort of channels all basically saying it's been done, right? And there's no, they haven't got any ground anymore in any of the buildings at all. So they've breached just the area. The Ukrainian official are denying this fact at all. And then they sent in a load of crack mercenaries and foreign and Ukrainians, right, into that town. This is this week, with AM, Abrahams, and loads of expensive equipment. They ended up fucking losing a couple, abandoning the whole the vehicles, and Australia only gave it to them or something like the last 2 weeks. They literally just got and the reason why that they done it for was for the Ukrainians to say that they've got a stronghold in the corner or something.
Yeah, and they got annihilated. You're right.
They got fucking annihilated, and it's just like, what the fuck's going on here? The sad thing about it all, like I said 2 years ago, they're going to lose about 30% of what they know as Ukraine, and that's the end result. And the quicker we pull the plug on this, the better. And since that date,
here's another thing. You talk about time frames, and you have to put Last Dance and myself actually on a pedestal. Last Dance and I said easily a couple of years ago, which is now becoming the main part of the negotiation, that you make that area a demilitarized zone and an economic trade where they can trade with the West and East. And now they're contemplating that. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Last Dance and I came to that conclusion a couple of years ago. Look at the lives you would have saved. So once again, this is another situation where there's a lot more to it in terms of the money and everything else that's going on behind the scenes. And the fact that obviously Ukraine is so corrupt. There's so much money that's gone missing and equipment. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm not having a go at the Ukrainian army or anyone that's really fighting against the Russians, because they might have the equipment. They generally might have much more equipment than the Russians, generally, but they're certainly outnumbered. Generally, they might have more weaponry and choice of weaponry, but they've obviously done really well. But it is a war of attrition, and in these wars of attrition, not much ground's going to be made. They're just going to keep on bunkering down, and just and the only people who can win that, I'm afraid, are Russia.
Yep.
I mean,
So
basically, suits Russia perfect.
Like, pragmatically speaking, Russia invaded Ukraine. Fuck Russia. Power to Ukraine. Now that is just going on the base facts there. But, theoretically speaking, and in a deeper sense, the outcome, as has been stated, is not going to be different no matter what happens, whether it's now or next year. Fucking Putin is not going to stop until he get what he wants, and it might end up being the entire destruction of the entire country. I mean, is that what they want? At some point, is it? You know, there's fighters who will fight until they die. It takes a manager sometimes to throw in a towel. So maybe this is like a chance for them to throw in the towel and start rebuilding places rather than destroying. Because I don't think they're thinking in the fact that Putin is never going to stop, is what it comes down to.
Well,
sadly.
And Cup of Tea in the chat says he's got the name of the place. Pokrovsk videos have been entertaining though, and they have been like entertaining, but not because as we know, there's mostly Foreign Legion boys there. There could be Americans, British, Australians, could be anyone, But the reality is that they're literally putting them in a scenario where they cannot win. They cannot win, and the best they could come is get out of it alive, which is basically what the majority of them did. But it's like I said, when I seen the footage, it was like, and I understood what they were trying to do. It was like that's never going to work. It's never going to work. Yeah. And it wasn't like it hadn't been tried before. It was a regular road where the petrol station was, where there's abandoned petrol station where shit always happens, and it's happened for the last 2 years. It was like it would have been like chalk, and it would have been like normal cannon fodder for the Russians, really.
Right.
But they only done it. They only done it as a publicity thing, and they backfired completely.
You know what's going to happen, Welshman? The United States is going to build its Golden Fleet and send it over to Ukraine and Russia. They are both going to put up the white flag, and this is all going to be over.
It's a new color.
Don't laugh, Lee. I'm being honest.
They're doing away with old Battleship Gray. It's going to be Battleship Gold. I have a feeling that might stand out on the horizon a little bit. Although if they park the fleet right in front of sunrise or sunset, it's invisible. Blends right in with the sun. It's perfect.
There's going to be so many fresh tactics. The world's going to just crumble.
I mean, I don't get it, but Trump thinks we have a need for it. Maybe we do. I don't
know. Chaps, have you been? This is a good subject.
Right back.
I remember in the last sort of years or two, I've always mentioned a place called Dearborn, Michigan.
Yes.
So and I described it as now you're hearing the place, but I was describing it like this 2 years ago. And where it's completely overtaken the natural native population of the area. And I don't know if you've been watching channels like Nick Shirley on YouTube. Well, he went to Michigan this week, went to all the daycare centers and like these food halls, and literally they're all fronts. Hundreds and hundreds of these places are literally fronts. There's not even enough kids in the area, right, to fill these places. The whole thing is literally like an empty building, and it'll say on the front, it said so-and-so learning center. They spelt learning wrong. They spelt luring.
Wasn't that
Learing?
Wasn't that Minneapolis?
That's the SMRT.
No, that was that's in Michigan now. He's in Michigan now doing it, if you look on his channel. And they couldn't even spell learning correctly. And when they knock the door, there's no one in any of these places. There's supposed to be 100 kids in there, 102 kids. And then when they get an answer off someone, they're all getting shut down and slammed in their faces and told they're going to leave for their own safety and stuff. Really,
you're talking about Minnesota, right? You're talking about Minnesota, the expose they just released?
Yeah, it's Minnesota.
Yeah. What did I say? Michigan.
You said Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, I thought you said that.
Well,
I didn't watch it yet, but they just released a guy going over there and looking at these facilities that are getting millions of dollars, and the facilities are empty. But again, do you think anything's going to happen? I don't think anything's going to happen. It's a
Well, the
state
crazy thing
decision.
about it, I mean, the one I seen, they were supposed to have 102 students in there. There's clearly no one there. No one there. There's no one in the car park. There's basically no one in the building. There's no kids in the building anywhere. And they received 2.6 million last year.
Is this part of the Somalian fraud?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what that
Yes.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's this is only for 102 kids. 2.6 million for 102 kids. No wonder they're fucking at it.
Everybody
I mean,
gets
they
Jordans every week.
I mean,
So,
and the thing is, they're sending the money back to some ISIS group in Somaliland.
imagine how close that guy, Tim Waltz, came to be as our VP. That's a little bit scary, right?
Yeah.
It's less scary than how close
Tom.
the top of the ticket came to being the president.
Well, yeah, agreed. But yeah,
Riddle,
just-
you know Mike Lindell is challenging him for that seat when elections come, right?
Lindell, he's not going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, people think he's crazy, but I mean, look at your options. I'd rather
Yeah.
have comfortable pillows than tampons.
Yeah.
I doubt that he'll win the primary.
Yeah, this
At
is the
least
primary
it-
that you
it-
got to worry about, right?
At least his pillows are amazing to sleep on.
They are.
They're useful.
Yeah, they're all right. They're not bad.
His favorite pillow.
Where tampons in the boys' toilet are not useful. They're
They're
just
not the
not
best.
practical at all.
They're not better than memory foam, but they do the job. Anyways, what are you
Or
saying?
anti-memory foam.
I like a couple flat pancake pillows and I'm good to go. I don't like
Dementia
puffy. I like a couple pancake pillows. I don't like puffy pillows.
Yeah, Tampon's him, his daughter as well. She's a big lib. She's another crazy lib, and she's quite funny online. She's so fucking crazy.
In the men's room.
You've heard about the story where people were trying to pass the house, calling him a retard. Do you remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, his daughter said that they drove past that house. That's all I hear is retard. So
I agree. A little bit of
Not very
integration.
nice.
I do agree that nothing's going to happen because it's a state issue, right?
They can
Don't
pull
know.
their funds, though, can they? They can pull the funds.
I hope so.
I mean,
This is
every state gets their money from central government, don't they?
I think they could, but when it comes to the investigation, the federal government can't investigate it, right? Because it's a state issue. Is that how it works? I haven't looked
No.
I haven't like too much into this, but it sounds like the state could get away with it.
Well, I don't know.
If
The
it's a federal funding,
Yeah, it's
FBI
Yeah.
can be involved. The FBI can-
definitely there's state involvement because they administer it, but it's federal
Yeah,
money.
it's out,
okay,
out of
well
their
then-
hands. It's out
Then
of their
I say
hands now.
crack down on that shit because that is ridiculous. That's
if no one's going to
absolutely-
lose out,
The thing is, I can't remember because I was walking at the time. But we're talking literally hundreds of daycare centres and hundreds of dinner halls. Hundreds.
Yep. It's wild.
There's more. There's more booked out than there is kids, and it's only supposed to be kids that need care, not every child. So even if we put all the kids together,
Right. Yeah, it seemed kind
I
of
mean,
silly.
how does
seems
that
kinda
go
silly.
on?
It seems like that the person somewhere along the line there would be someone keeping track of the funding, just not sending out millions upon millions of dollars and assuming that there was the proper recipients and usages on the other end. Like
auditing,
Yeah,
yeah.
but Steve,
there
Yeah, but
needs
Steve,
to be
when
like
they-
some investigations going on here because somebody might have been getting some backdoor money back from it. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, I mean, they all have. But when we were watching one of the buildings with the 102 pupils supposedly in there, and it was completely empty, that building alone had like another 3 daycare centres, which were completely empty as well. So basically, in the whole block, there's no one or 90% of the block, say it's all rented out, but 30% of it is rented out to daycare centres, right? That just don't exist. And then you've got like complete industrial estates where they're literally on every corner. And you could just imagine driving to work and saying, how is that supposed to be open? But there's no cars there. There's no one there. I mean,
Right.
it would be glaringly obvious to a local councillor, to obviously representatives, to the police. So it would be like everyone would have known for years.
If there's
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
You know?
when you have a daycare, you guys drive by them. There's parents picking them up. There's parents dropping them off. There's kids visible
Yeah.
bouncing off the walls inside. There's movement everywhere. In the summer, there's usually a jungle gym or something outside in the back or whatever you call it in your places.
I mean, we all do it. If you're not picking your kid up, you avoid school pickup time because you know it's carnage.
Exactly.
But how are they getting
So-
away with that? Why isn't anything being done about it?
Because the Democrat Party were afraid, like the UK with the gang raping and the grooming, afraid to be called a racist.
if there's no repercussions, why shouldn't more people rip off the federal government?
Exactly.
There should be repercussions. There should be huge ones.
I
There
think they've
used to be
arrested-
huge repercussions for just not paying taxes, and now people are taking, not only not giving, they're actively taking. There should be really bad consequences for that.
I've seen the Somali community and the heads of the Somali community in this area have come out and apologized. It was so cringe, the apology. Everyone knows when you look at it. None of it's sincere at all. There's no reaction off them. They just got their faces down. But, oh,
Did
it's
you
so
see?
sorry. It's
Did
just
you see
a
Tim
small
Waltz?
part of the community.
Did you
Go
see
on.
Tim Waltz try to basically say it's not
Play it
okay
down.
to be white still, even though JD Vance, like, they try to capitalize on that, and he won't address the Somalian thing. So this Tim Waltz guy, right, is just afraid of being called a racist for votes in Minnesota. It's
Okay.
kind of pathetic that we're captured by identity politics. Now, this is a known thing, obviously, but it's just sad because that guy was gonna be close to being well, I wouldn't say close, but he was a running candidate, right? It's just a little
But
crazy.
everyone knew, didn't they? Everyone knew. Tim knew. All his advisors knew. All the party members knew. Everyone knew. The police knew. The councillors knew. The binman knew. The binman knew because they knew that every week they're supposed to collect the bins. There's fuck all to collect. I mean, and everyone knew. And like you said, for them just to like, and it is what you just said, like I said earlier, it was they were afraid of being called racist.
You still brought up-
votes.
And he still brought up white supremacy. It was insane. Like, they're still running with that rhetoric. Is that really still like a winning talking points for the Democrats right
Well,
now?
I mean, it's a winning talking point throughout the world. I mean, Australia, obviously, there was this big terror attack in Bondi, and the first thing the Prime Minister mentioned was far-right extremism. It's just, in fact, he didn't mention the word Islamic extremism until I think it was 3 days after. But he mentioned right-wing extremism immediately. But why would you say that when it had nothing to do with the right-wing extremism?
I know, it's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Who's allowed to audit a state-run facility?
The state.
Private
Well-
citizens are not allowed.
Yeah, you're allowed. I mean, if it's a private building, a private premises, like a private company, you can't. But you can certainly, take any public information you can publicly. There'll be loads of information available, and then you can audit it yourself by seeing what the traffic's like.
If
Yeah.
state and federal auditors are not going to do their job, I'm curious if there's going to be any vigilante civilians that are going to audit these facilities
Oh.
instead of, because you know how people audit police, like that's a
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, well, that's what Nick Shirley did today. Nick Shirley did it today on his video, and he's risking his safety. He's only a young
And
lad.
literally,
He just goes out with,
On Twitter, he's literally has all 5 trending feeds of news because of his audit.
I met the guy. He's actually he did a little interview with me, and I mentioned about someone called. I mentioned someone got arrested in the UK for calling someone a muppet, and I gave that as an example, and he actually got the newspaper heading when he did it. While I was talking over, he actually put the newspaper. Someone being called a muppet. Got arrested for that, and he's got balls of steel. This kid, he's not a
Is
big
he
lad.
British
He's small.
or American?
He's American.
So how did
him
you get
and
a hold of him over there?
Well, no, he comes to the UK for the Tommy. He's been to the UK twice now, so he comes to the UK for the Tommy March in September, the huge one.
Okay, so let me ask you, with the brief clips I've seen, is he the guy who went to the daycare in Wisconsin, and
Somaliland,
and he was
Yeah.
the one who was knocking on the door, who got them to open the door and briefly talk and answer a few questions? Was that him?
yeah.
Okay, I know who that guy is then. Yeah,
Yeah, the young lad. There was two
Yeah.
there, but
yeah, there were two, and the
Yeah.
women essentially answered and dug their own graves right then and there because they admitted to it essentially. Like there were no children.
and like I said, everywhere he visited, there was no children. There wasn't any
Right.
children, any of them. So.
Oh, let's time tell here. Is somebody got on the left going to point out how bad that was, or are they going to stay completely silent about it?
I don't think there's any leftists on the panel.
Yeah.
No,
They're busy talking about tampons in the chat.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
Yes,
it is kind of an interesting topic. The conversation going on here.
Yeah, I tried
Are they
hell to
serious?
get on the radio the other day to ask the governor of Massachusetts a simple question, but I knew that the call screeners would never ever let me through. I wanted
Can you
to ask-
pretend until the last second?
No, they'd cut me off. I wanted to ask Governor Healy, do you agree with the deportation of illegal immigrants in an orderly fashion from the United States of America? I really would like to put her on the spot and make her answer that question.
What was her
And
name?
that's her ultimate nightmare to have to answer that, because no matter how she answers it,
Yeah,
she's either abandoning her party or she's abandoning the law.
yeah, which is crazy because it's such a common sense answer, but the rhetoric has gone so hard for so long that you associate legal immigrants with illegal immigrants now, and racism. Why not?
You're saying orderly, but do you mean like due process?
Yeah, whatever it takes. Sure. If she wants to point out the fact that, okay, well, what they're doing now is unreasonable or unlawful, then I'd say, fine. We'll just do it in a way that they're all removed, but with whatever level of due process that is required, we'll be sure that they get. And we'll hold ICE accountable for any illegal behaviors and not just overlook anything. But in the end, Governor, what I want to know is, I would really want her to answer that question, and I can tell you she never would. They would never allow her to be asked that question in the first place, which is such horseshit, dude. And that's one of the
She'll
major
follow party
frustrations.
lines.
So much.
I mean,
follow
you
party
know what?
lines.
Governor Newsom would actually answer that. He's got the balls, even though I detest him.
His answer would be bullshit, dude.
At
Yeah,
least
he'd be a bullshitty answer. I know him. He's a fucking. Anyways,
he
sorry.
would still answer it. She would just avoid it. Maura Healy, like she would
That's
literally like ghost the person and basically, give them the most.
I mean,
Lame
they'll
answer.
follow party lines. I mean, you've got the Democrats defending gang members, defending illegals and criminals and boat terrorists. It's keep on going. That's what I say. Keep on defending these people.
People are going up against this one too, right? I know he's kidding, but hey, Topple, did you ever see the bikini pictures of her? That might be a little bit more something.
Gross.
But
Impeach her.
impeach her.
She's not in my list of attractive people.
Yeah, and I'm not saying either way if she is or isn't.
Who would be?
Wise choice.
Stop being a politician.
Oh no! I'll be the reporter right now. Who would be?
I think Dua Lipa is a great looking woman. I'll tell you that
Who?
much.
Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa, the retard.
Yeah.
Ooh,
She's like, I'm for it. I'm down for the syndrome.
She's not. I mean, I don't know what you mean by that, but
Oh my
she's,
god.
she's I think
the
if
Reeds.
you're ta-
Damn. RW. Damn. I didn't expect that from you.
Dude, she's a Hollywood puppet. Let's
Oh,
get
I
some
don't really care
sentences
about that.
strung along.
We're just talking about on physical attractiveness. She's a
I mean,
pretty
you're
lady.
not wrong. I
don't even know who she is.
Paige Spiranac, she's not bad.
Yeah, I had to Google her too.
She's a singer, Last Dance, if you want to call it that.
Paige, that's the golfer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's good looking. Absolutely.
How does she not fall over in her backswing? I don't understand.
She's got an incredible
Athletics.
Yeah, she's
Oh.
She's actually got a great swing.
When
Yeah,
you get some
so-
photos up,
Greg seems to hate Pam Bondi.
I mean, a useful
Why-
idiot, right?
Why is that, by the way? Did something else happen? I mean, I kind of agree with you. But
Well,
then
What is
again,
she doing? What is she doing for the people?
I want to know what. Well,
Not a whole
she's
lot.
she's a talking head essentially.
right.
Um,
Well, I would say
Well,
the
I
same
want-
with Cash Patel.
I want to know what Topple's theory is here. He doesn't want to see her impeached. That's funny. He wants to have her impeached.
His wife
what-
is watching him type, so he's got to be real
what's-
careful.
What's easy to look up?
Back in a sec.
Oh,
Uh,
when the
just quickly-
RNC. So you're talking about the RNC. You're talking about the RNC saying that there's a bunch of closeted gays in the Republican Party crashing Grinder in Milwaukee.
To-
So if I
Just
look that
quickly
up,
to your point, Steve,
Yes.
to digress for a second, you were saying that the person you called wouldn't take your question. That
Right.
reminds me of, you know how they have the hot seat in the press release? They let that random new underdog reporter come and sit in that seat and they get to ask the first question.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the questions that they ask, those are absolutely controlled.
100%.
Those aren't random underdog questions at all.
Not in a
Such
million years.
Bullshit.
Of course. Yeah. Not too many people ever want to be put on the spot when it comes to politicians, especially politicians. The worst thing they are is thinking on their feet with quick answers. And when you find a politician who can do that, it's kind of rare. Most of them just want to stick to party lines and move along, you know.
who do you think can do that these days?
Currently,
It's a good question.
politics,
I don't think anyone can do it full time because, I mean, there's so much to know beforehand. I mean, like Trump can't do it. I mean, the worst thing about Trump, he allows himself to be questions like on the plane and everything, where Joe Biden is a completely like chalk and cheese sort of show, isn't it? And
I bet you I have an answer for you, Welshie.
Go on.
And everyone resorts to their talking points, right? So it's just a matter of who has more, of their own thoughts that come out at any given moment. And I think they just killed him.
Time to open this last dance. Sorry.
oh, nice.
Indeed.
I think
Oh,
Charlie
is that
Kirk
it?
was a figure that was willing to have people. It's one of the
Nice.
few people I can think of that would allow people to come up to the mic and ask literally anything, even if they did resort to talking points at times. I think that's the most modern example I can think of somebody that had an open platform.
Yeah, but Charlie Kirk wasn't a great debater. I mean, as debaters go, he wasn't a great debater.
I can't argue for or against. I just mean someone that allowed some questions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he had his talking points, and he was good at those talking points. And
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
know, he
have to
had all that
respectfully
tied out.
disagree with you. I think he was actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't, but he wasn't a great. I put it in great. He wasn't a great debater.
Well, I
Oh,
see.
he's-
Well, who do you would be like great? What constitutes great in debating?
Well, they all hate him on here. Well, they did definitely hate him 6 months ago. But what's got me into watching a lot of debating channels is Andrew Wilson. I've been watching him for
That
about a
sounds
year
familiar.
now, and the way he his style, he can play softball, hardball.
I don't ever
Very
see him. I just looked
knowledgeable.
up his face. I don't ever see him. So you must be looking him up specifically because he's not
Yeah.
surfacing.
Oh, I mean, he gets like 5, 6, 7, 10,000 on his live streams.
Okay, it's odd
Um,
that he's not algorithmically popping up for me then, because I would think we're looking at the same.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, for example, he did a debate the other day. I think I mentioned it last week. He did a debate the other day with a Muslim cleric or imam, and he destroyed him. Well, what's best for society, Christianity or Islam? And he went straight to first cousin marriages, which inevitably ends up getting a lower IQ. And he gave the reasons, and he showed the medical paperwork that would prove that you keep on marrying first cousins, you end up being retarded.
All right,
And,
I just came up with. Go ahead, finish your thing.
Anyway, the Muslim chap, he was totally confused because he thought he was going to go down the Aisha route, and he vacated that completely. And the Muslim chap had never been thrown that back at him in the way that he had. And what he did, he named like the 50 Islamic states in the world, and sadly, they all had IQs that were 80 and below, some going down to the lowest 60s. And there seems to be a connection between, say, first cousin marriages and IQ levels.
Yeah, we've discussed
And
this.
the way he done it was amazing. You should look it up.
What was your point, Steve?
I was just. It took me a long time to think of maybe a politician who can think on his feet, who can kind of shoot from both sides. Bacon.
Bacon.
Don
Kevin Bacon.
Don
Oh,
Bacon.
and this is current time.
Yeah, he's actually retiring, but he's a Republican, and he was he's just a guy
Bacon.
who I was impressed with recently in some interviews that I heard with him.
I don't even know his face.
Working across the aisle with some Democrats to try to.
It says his district was carried by Democratic candidates Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, 2020 and 2024, respectively.
Nebraska Republican.
Yeah, he is widely considered a centrist, but interesting.
Because he's willing to talk to other people in different parties. I love it.
I don't. Is it that simple? Because I'm pretty sure don't they just agree on the same things?
I don't know.
It was more than
I feel
that.
like our political ties now are used as curse words.
He was trying to actively end the government shutdown. Like he was like really trying to get things done. In case you haven't noticed, there's a lack of things getting done now because of a particular stalemate that's happening.
Well, they were all sent home for the holidays.
That was not good.
No.
That all I'm saying is this guy seems like one of the few that's like of a different cut from a different sort. I could be completely wrong. It's that hard that I have to go for that obscure of a name to think of somebody. But yeah, I mean,
if Kamala won and Waltz was your VP, where do you think America would?
Go ahead.
Where do you think America would be today?
What's the question?
Better or worse? Give you like a simple,
We'd be
I
fine.
mean, the question was, what happens if Camilla and Sampon Tim was VP?
We'd be fine.
And obviously,
how about let's just go in respect to our
inflation.
Constitution. Where would we be constitutionally? Worse off or better off? Would our rights be as they are now, or would we have less rights?
Well, if you look at the last time, with COVID, etc., it seems to be the more liberal governments and the more liberal states in America were very strict. So I would suggest your rights have been saved just simply because, in very, very recent history, you couldn't breathe without a mask without being accosted or even arrested. Barbecues of more than 6, you might get arrested for. And we all know this stupid shit. And not all the time, but the liberal states were far stronger than the conservative states.
Did you ever see the people on their porch in Tim Walz's state, Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
When the COVID police were walking down the road screaming at everybody to get back in your house, shut your doors, and they actually fired like some kind of a rubber bullet through some guy's screen door because he was peeking out at them. It's at those times when there's a certain amendment comes to mind, but that's.
And Steve,
freedom of assembly.
Who was screaming at people? Who was screaming at people in shops for not wearing a mask? The fucking liberals. The liberals, the fucking freaks with the septum the septum piercings and stuff. They were the fucking screaming at some guy saying, "Actually, mate, I don't want to wear a mask." They go, you fucking Nazi.
I think it's a loaded question because the left and the right go against our constitutional rights in different ways with different flavors. Like when it comes to free speech, both of them suppress free speech in different ways. So we've lost rights in both directions. But I think that under a liberal government, they're handing out more rights to more groups of people, and that takes away more rights from the existing groups of people. So in other words, if there's only 2 genders, let's say, since we're all infatuated with transgenders and everything, right? If there's only 2 genders, those 2 genders have their rights established. But all of a sudden, if there's more genders and more things, well, then we have to give those people rights, and the original 2 genders that were established lose rights to the other new groups. So it gets complicated.
Yeah, and on that same line of thinking, it appears that gender affirming care for anyone who's not an adult, is it right that that's been made illegal?
On a federal level, yes, that's my understanding.
Federal, that means that it's illegal for anybody to do it anywhere. It's against federal law.
To my understanding, if you're practicing medicine and you perform gender affirming care, you have broken federal law.
Right. Good. That in my mind is a good thing. Now, if a person is an adult of sound mind and wants to do it, then they should be able to, on their own dime, not on some fucking insurance pool that everybody's paying into that's going to make rates go up. I mean, like, it's, in my mind, it's an elective surgery. If I'll just say a guy wants to get his biceps made bigger, or, that doesn't happen, but I went with that first, or a woman wants to augment something, that would come out of their own pocket, right? If it was purely for cosmetic purposes. So I think that the same thing applies to any kind of surgery, gender related. But
what do you think?
Doing it to children,
what do you think about gun law rights? If we had gone with Kamala and Tim, I think that our gun laws would have been suppressed as well.
Yeah, you'd be closer to Massachusetts than you are right now.
So I guess, my vote is that we'd be more suppressed if it would have went that direction. That's my answer.
You're 100% right. Just like I am more oppressed by my state, the whole country would be leaning towards looking like Massachusetts. And let me tell you something. It sucks here, bro. It sucks.
Strap in, buddy.
I remember AOC going to Florida for a holes with a white husband, And I thought, why did they go to Florida? Well, the news told me it was because it's very lax in Florida, and they didn't want to they wanted a nice chill time, so they went to a Republican state to go on holidays. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but was that you? Last Dance? Is he gone, or someone just typed as my name? And I
That was me.
Yeah, I saw
was
that
you.
in a second.
That was me.
All right. It happens when he's on my StreamYard.
Friendly fire, friendly fire.
I have to switch back and forth between windows, and I sometimes get confused.
I was
which window I'm
gonna
in.
say that doesn't sound like something Steve would say.
It wasn't.
How are you chaps liking Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat, the starlet?
I don't pay attention to her, dude.
I don't know anything about her.
Me neither. She's an
Oh,
She's the
Crockett?
Shaniqua, dude.
She's
a
insane.
clown.
She's right up there with who were the other ones up there?
AOC.
She would go against MTG. They'd have their little ghetto
The
bitch
squads.
fights
The
at the hearings.
Oh man,
She's like the Timo version of the squad,
Crockett.
is she?
Yeah, Crockett's super racist though. That's what it sounded like to me.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean
know.
a lot of these Democrats are actually like
It
super
was
racist.
well. You're gonna love this. So she had like a softball interview with like CNN, and she said, "The Democrats have been trying to get down Texas for a couple of it's Texas she's off for a couple of years now, couple of cycles or whatever, 2 decades." And she's going, "Yeah." And she goes, "What have you got different?" She goes, "Well, isn't that obvious?" Basically saying their skin, literally insinuated, "I'm black." I thought, wow, okay.
I don't have the patience to listen to that level of bullshit in politics. I do try and find things that are actually happening.
I didn't have to wait long. It was the first question.
Ugh.
And she just said, look at me. I'm black, basically.
That's why you click the skip button and try and find something else, man.
Yeah, but I got what I was after. First question. Answer like.
Yeah.
She didn't
Right,
disappoint.
I've got a question for our American cousins there. It's a question, but in 2 parts.
Do what?
So the general consensus here in modern history is that we're quite proud of the fact that the United Kingdom has got what we call a special relationship with the USA. So bar the politicians, general public wise, if there's like a war or a confrontation and it's like the Brits are coming in with us, take the politicians out, do the general public think in America like, oh, that's great because the British are coming in with us, or do they really not sign it? Does it not really kind of register? Because here it does. You feel like if we're helping America, we're going to be safe because we're helping out the most powerful nation. And the second part of the question is over modern history. Once again, as we are very much in touch with your politics, who the president is, and is there one prime minister that stands out for you that you respect in your country? You think, yeah, they did a good job. We worked well with them, and we respect Britain. They've got a good, strong leader.
Well, first and foremost,
Yeah, go ahead.
I've always felt like maybe the British doesn't have the numbers of military that we have, but you definitely have quality in your soldiers. And I know that the Scottish Light Brigade did a bayonet charge in the 2000s, and I believe it was in Iraq, which is one of the most legendary moves ever, going up over a wall and running a bunch of Hajis through with your bayonets is like man card stamped, bro. And I just could see those guys right up next to Marines, battling like fucking madmen. So big respect in that sense.
Okay, but the question was about the prime minister.
Well, he did ask about the confidence in their military, and like I said, that was the first part of the question.
Yeah, that was the first part.
I didn't understand the first part of the question, honestly.
I guess neither did I.
It's just that I guess the RW in the UK, if there's ever a conflict breaking out, or even sometimes just different missions, the British get involved in terms of, because we've got this special relationship and we want to help America. It's all very political, obviously, but I just wondered if the general public think, if let's say Iraq started again tomorrow for some reason, and we went back in time and the British weren't involved, I don't think it would really register with the American public that, well, Britain's not helping. I just don't think, you're so big and powerful. Does it really matter? That
You're right. You're right. It doesn't. It does not.
Yeah, I think for the general public doesn't really understand that the UK has a special relationship with the US.
Right. But
Well,
even
then the general public is morons. How can you not know our historical ties?
right.
You have to.
Because they are morons. Come on.
Fair,
The general public. Look at the general public nowadays. The general public isn't even American citizens. I mean, think about it.
But the Americans don't need anyone to go into war. But what's good is obviously the optics. So obviously, if they have the UK on side and France on side,
it gives them more to say they're doing the right thing. Yeah. Exactly.
So what was the second part? Because
which prime minister do you know of, the UK prime minister, that you thought, oh, they were a strong leader? We got on well with the UK during that period of time.
Can I
all
quickly?
due respect, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I mean both the beginning and the first part and the second part of the question. I think from my own life experience and what they hammered into me in school is that Winston Churchill was our bro, and we worked together with him, and we held back the Axis forces, and he was the guy. And historically, I think Britain was looked at as an ally, and lately it's very political. It's very politically extreme, and it's a lot of bullshit. And when it comes down to the commoner level, I have no idea how to answer that.
But your answer of Winston Churchill is a superb example of a good answer. The guy's a legend.
I would have said this. I thought you meant like more recent, but
well,
yeah.
Riddle, you can go for a recent. Who do you know recently then that you think has been a good leader for us?
Recently, no offense, nobody. I don't think you guys have had any leadership at all. That's been like decent at all. But if I had to pick one, and this is, I don't even know, because I don't know. And that could be totally wrong because it's hard. But like probably, yeah, I'm gonna get hate for this because I know. I'll just say this: probably Boris Johnson. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's probably like you probably.
Okay, if that question was reversed, I would say Reagan and Maggie Thatcher.
Yeah,
I was going to say I'm a little older, so Margaret Thatcher would be a recent.
Oh, okay, okay, that's good. Yeah, because I haven't. To be fair, like my opinion would be kind of shit because
I would guess that she's still the most well-known prime minister in the United States.
I think the relationship between America and Reagan at that point in time was at a peak of our relations.
Yeah, but she was also prime minister for a long time. I'm not exactly sure how long. So,
damn,
you've had long enough to get her face on the money.
It says 79 to 90.
Okay,
I'd have to go with Anthony Blair. Tony Blair.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. I know you guys hate him.
I mean, he certainly went to war with us in Iraq.
He was all game for war. You want war? I'm in. Let's go, boys.
Basically, if he was Putin and Bush was Putin, they would have both been war criminals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this sounds disrespectful, but honestly, in my lifetime, I've never looked at London to see what's happening in the world. They're not relevant. I've only honestly ever looked at your British pound to see how it was in comparison to the US dollar. That's it.
Well, that was one of my points earlier on about the general public, RW. There's no offense there, honestly. I just think America's so big and powerful that, unless you want to go rooting for some information about the UK, you generally aren't going to know anything about it. So, you're on a completely different scale. You really are.
Yeah, I also. Sorry, I just want to say, I mean no disrespect either. It's just hard. It's You guys
Yeah,
haven't been on the scope.
I agree. I agree with you. I make the thing about that. I think it's changed now, but it was like 7 or 9% of Americans that held a passport. Because if you want to go to skiing, there's plenty of places to go skiing. If you want to go to the beach, everything basically is in their landmass. So, in a way, I can see why. And unless you really look into it, you can avoid it really easily, completely, because you're isolated from. The rest
it's
of the
a
world,
big enough
aren't you?
country that it's kind of got one of everything or more.
Yeah.
What for us? For the
Yes,
U.S.
Well,
the
just,
U.S.
you know.
Nobody needs to travel
Oh
out of
yeah.
the U.S. to get
It's
hot,
such
to find hot weather in the winter or cooler weather in the summer or mountains or beaches or
Yeah. It's also why we don't
natural
speak.
attractions, wilderness.
It's also why we don't speak multiple languages. Because in Europe, you guys are right next to each other. We don't have to.
I mean, the thing is, chaps, you do, I would say you miss a lot by not leaving your country.
I
going
agree. I agree with you on that. Yeah. That's
Talking
You
just
miss a
really
lot,
quickly,
lad.
this is right off on a tangent, but just talking about the size of the country, just for a second. A little interesting fact I read last week: you can fit the UK between, I think it's about 58
one
times.
state.
No, inside Antarctica, and Antarctica is 1.5 times the size of the United States. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, the UK could fit in. Maybe just Britain actually could fit in just like one of our states,
Texas.
one of our smaller states.
Yeah, and with a lot of space spare too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Literally,
But,
we'll have a big island. If we had Texas, a big island around us.
so we have a massive it's you're right though that we do miss a lot by not leaving our country, but there's so much to see and have within our own that it makes it harder to leave in general.
I mean,
So
and obviously, there's 350 million in America and 70 in the UK. Like in 2023, we imported 1.1 million, and I think you've been taking in on average about 1.5 million.
yeah.
So you can imagine, how it affects the UK, and of course, it affects the UK quite severely in small towns and cities, because all of a sudden everything changes. Because 500 people have just moved in, they're all bored, they've got nothing to do, and even if they're all good guys, they're all really bored.
Your crime numbers and Paris's crime numbers are up so much right now that I don't think people are willing to risk it.
There's a very
London's the capital in Europe. Right?
There's a very old clip of a news conference when Reagan was going for the presidency, and a UK reporter says, what deems you to have the experience to run the country? He's being facetious with him, going, when at the end of the day, you've been a B-movie actor. And President Reagan, in his typical style, you can see him sort of chuckling and laughing to one side. He goes, well, don't forget, California's 1.5 times bigger than the United Kingdom, and I run that pretty well. That was a great answer.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
President Reagan. Well, when he was running for it. Yeah. Put the UK reporter right in his place.
Yeah, that was that was a different time for sure. That was
See, right.
I live right next to the Reagan Library. Anyways, sorry.
That's cool. I was talking to a different group of people the last couple of days, and we talked about tariffs, and they were telling me how the U.S. population isn't fronting the bill for the tariffs, and that it's foreign countries. To my understanding, that's not true at all. So it was interesting for that conversation. I'm curious how you guys feel about the current U.S. economy. We just had information released that we're 4.3% GDP growth, which is 1 point higher than expected. So do you guys think that we're on board and moving in the right direction, or do you think it's kind of just fabricated information?
I think it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I agree. It's a mixed bag, but I like what I'm seeing, especially with gas prices. They're almost a whole dollar cheaper
for California.
California, yeah.
No, California is different.
We actually, this is the first time I've ever seen a 3 on it before. Leading with a 3.
Okay, chaps.
Like
I watched the article the other day, and it was a chap who had 50 Exxon garages in California, and they were like struggling because of the cost and everything, and it's all California based cost, if you know what I mean.
Right. I mean, I
And
saw $10 a gallon, so that's why I was
so
shell
he spoke.
10.
This is recently. He spoke to Gavin. He sent him an email, and he said, this is our problems. And basically, Gavin sent him an email back and said, "Oh, ta-da." Literally said ta-da. But the thing was, it wasn't just the 50 garages that were connected. They pulled the refineries out of California as well, because the costs of the restrictions California is doing just on the refining part as well.
Yeah,
logistics of pumps, drilling rigs.
So now, 6 months, a year later, there's 20,000 men, right, or 30,000 men that were connected to that, all of that, right, and they've all gone. When Gavin could have stepped in or something, but he literally, the email back was basically, okay.
They're gonna have to fluff the numbers for a while, and I think that I think it's too late to course correct, and I'm not sure how it's gonna work out for California.
Well, one thing I'm really, really surprised about in the economy is silver. I'll give you guys a quick thing here. You guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
No.
I see nothing.
You see nothing.
No.
All right. Let me share this.
I see nothing.
How
Now
about
I'm
this?
seeing it.
All right. So right here we are in right here we're April 4th, 29.65 per ounce for silver. You go up to today, we're at $80.59.
Because of tariffs?
I don't know. It's fucked up, dude. That's within one calendar year.
I was actually going to invest
Yeah.
in silver around that
Now,
time.
if you
So
had
kill me.
$30,000, if you had $30,000 around April 4th and you bought, I'm sorry, not, yeah, 30,000 would have got you about 1,000 ounces. You could have sold it right now for about 80,000.
Yeah.
Or if
Feels good.
you had $90,000, you could have bought more. I mean, it's not that much money. Like in a short period of time for investing, it's an unbelievable gain.
Yeah.
But this would have to crash, right?
Can you change the dates just so we can see it over a 10-year, just to see how it's been going?
I think it stayed around. I think it stayed around $20.
It's a
5
rich man's
year.
game, anyways.
It's been quite
Yeah,
stable
I mean-
until recent.
Somewhat. I mean,
Yeah,
if you go back there to-
I thought silver wasn't a great investment up until very recently. I know
well, look at
gold's doing really
look
well.
at March 2024. March 24th, 2020 was 14.41 an ounce. Right
But
now
that was
we're
a
at
quick dip.
$80. Yeah, that's a wicked dip. And then shortly thereafter, it was up at
Right.
27, which is a good gain for the same calendar year. But nothing like the gain we're having right now.
So there's news coming out of China right now that they are putting some type of stipulation on the silver that's coming out of China. I don't know if that's what's doing it, because if the world supply was coming from a large amount of that supply was coming from China, and they're pulling back the reins, I can see that making the price of silver go way up. But
I
if
don't
that's
know.
I
true,
was gonna
it's gonna
ask,
crash.
is gold tracking similarly?
No, but palladium is.
Gold's
Palladium
gone
is
through the
fucking-
roof recently. Gold's gone through the roof recently.
Gold
last
has,
year.
but not on the same meteoric trajectory that silver has. Gold is at 4,000. It's insane. When I was in college, we used to make a joke. You could buy an ounce of weed for the same as an ounce of pot, $300. An ounce of weed is the same as an ounce of gold. Sorry, that made a lot of sense. It was around $300 to $350. So
Okay.
yeah, from back then to now, it's well over 1,000% of increase.
Well, yeah, I think I was the recent gold rush ones are about 2,500 an ounce.
Yeah,
And if you're saying it's on 4,000 today, that
Yeah.
can't be more than 2 to 3 years ago.
exactly. You can buy a tenth of an ounce of gold for like $400 to $500 right now. That is absolute insanity. it's the tiniest little thing for that much
Well,
money.
maybe it's time to go
Well,
panning for gold just for the fun of it. You might make $100 or $500
well,
getting
Yeah,
a few flakes.
Vermont has some
like,
good candy things.
From what I'm like, you get these big investors. They say gold's not a good thing to invest in, and they give the reasons why. Like, but what gold is to a lot of like people, it's not going to go down, really, is it?
It's safe,
No.
yeah. It's security, yeah.
It's
safe.
really
I can see it
safe.
being used for holding large volumes of wealth, but if you're trying to do transactions, my understanding is silver is wiser because when you have to test it or whatever, like the transaction costs are less. Like when you go to sell gold, you have to have it tested, and if you have a small volume of gold, you're losing a percentage of that gold to the test.
Now these are
So-
stocks and golds, right?
I thought they were
These are
talking about
stocks.
actual bullion.
I thought they were
It's-
stocks.
No, it depends. There's two ways to look at it. There's if you're paying for somebody else to hold your metal, then you're paying for them
Yeah.
to hold it. So
Yeah.
you're always better to hold your own. That of course means you got to have protection, you got to have a safe, and you
Click,
could be
clack.
a target. You could be a
Well,
target.
Lead
What
is
were
good
you-
for protecting
so-
gold.
What were you? Yeah, say from Superman. What were you? So what were you showing me right now? Was it like the stock thing? Was that a stock investing
No, that's
graph?
just the price chart.
Value.
or
the value.
straight up? Okay, there was okay. Hmm.
That's what they call. I believe they call that the spot price. Without a premium, that's the literal price of gold as it's set by the market. You know what I mean? So when you go to a silver or a gold store or a metals dealer, they charge you spot plus a premium, of course, because they want to make a couple bucks. So you never really buy anything for spot. They do sell what's called constitutional, or it's like 90% or 80% coinage, but that shit sucks because then it's like a pre-1965 quarter. Look in your if you have quarters, try to find any that are pre-1965. I believe they're 90% silver.
Yeah, the laundrettes do it. I see the laundrette people do it all the time. They can spot them.
Yeah.
If you've got a good eye, you can spot them.
You can, if
but-
you have a bunch of quarters in your hand and you shake them up, if there's one silver one in there, that sucker makes a weird sound. It's like vastly different from a normal quarter. I've found probably 10 over the years.
They find them in laundrettes quite often, which is crazy when you think about it. That people are so like
Yeah.
not like clued up.
Yeah, but in the coin op laundry, all the coin guys who collect the quarters always search through for the silvers.
Yeah, you see it on Facebook,
Oh hell
and you
yeah.
can spot them. You can spot them when you see them all laid out there. You can sort of, you know what you're looking at.
They look almost whiter and less shiny, and they make a really weird clink when you ding them on something.
Well, I am one of those people who bought some silver, only £500 worth, but in coin form. But like they do these designs, so they bought some Star Wars coins.
Yeah.
And I think what was the other one? Some retro gaming coins. I bought 500 quid's worth, and if I sold them tomorrow, I make 1,020 quid. So I've doubled the money on them. But I think
I'd sell them. I'd sell them.
I know, but Lee, think about it. In April, if you had bought 1,000 ounces for $30K, which when you think about it, isn't that much money to just try to, if you could last a year without it, and then you could make, oh my God.
I wish I'd bought a lot more, but I just thought I've got a mate who's well into all of this, and he was like, "Lee, buy some. It's going to go up. It's going to go up." So I thought I'm not going to spend a huge amount. No way. So so I just bought some for the sake of it, really. But yeah, he's right.
When did you buy it?
Probably about February, March time.
Yeah.
Well, think about this now, right? You've got like the best profit you could think technically, right?
Yeah.
That you could have expected, to, even dreamt of over a 10-year period. Just
Yeah, true.
like, I think so I would pull the plug
I'm tempted,
now,
mate, but my mate goes, no,
because
don't. It's
technically-
going to go up even more.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
yeah, but I bet if you look at that scale over a 10-year period, it hasn't done that over a 10-year period.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So think about it. You've got your 10-year period over here now. It's done. It's done in like 8
Yeah.
months.
Right. You
Pull the
make
plug.
a number and say to yourself, all right, if I buy it at $30 an ounce and it reaches 75, I'm going to sell no matter what, because that
Yeah.
means I'm going to make like 200% on my investment in under a year or something, you know,
What
like
is that dance?
Yeah.
It says silver certificate.
I have a few of those. Yep.
I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that means.
Wait, that's a classification of dollars, of dollar bills? Why is that?
They
I
made
never heard it.
they made them. I don't know what Smoke Steve. You know more than I do. So.
Yeah. Well, I think it says right on it, redeemable
see.
at any U.S. mint for its value in silver, basically, right? Something like
I
that.
guess I don't know.
Shit.
But-
Is this more rare than like a $2 bill or something? Or
Yes, but
So-
that one out the window. They
Really?
won't give you silver for that now. They'll give you a crisp, clean, fresh new dollar bill. The best thing you can do with that is try to sell it to a collector.
wait,
If
so
you
Okay.
want-
that's really I had no idea. Never
Or
once
you-
ever heard that.
or you throw it in
Um,
under a piece of glass and you throw it on a wall next to,
Can I see that again,
your
Dan?
Joe DiMaggio signature.
I've
Come
never
on.
seen that. I've literally never seen that in my life. Never heard of that in my life.
Looks like a dollar bill.
It
It
just
head's
says
a little smaller.
instead of Federal Reserve note, it says silver certificate. Holy okay.
Here, let me give you solo layout. Wait, where's
Interesting.
solo layout?
I've never seen that before.
What year is that dollar?
I even noticed that.
1957.
Right here, under $1, lift it up a little. It says in silver, payable to the bearer on demand.
Oh yeah,
That
there
is
it
an
is.
on-demand bearer bond right there. Like,
Man,
remember Die Hard?
Yeah, bearer bonds.
Right.
Okay. Oh, it's got that. Okay. All right. Damn.
Of course, these are fun.
Oh yeah.
My friend,
Yeah, those are. Yeah.
Got a couple of those, but
my friend who loves to troll people, he would every year he'd get a bunch of $2. I don't even know if they're available now, but he'd go to the bank and ask
Yeah, certain banks, I believe so.
like $22
Yeah.
bills, and he would go to stores and try paying for stuff with $2 bills.
They don't
And-
like it, do they?
People don't think they think it's counterfeit.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
It looks like
With
Monopoly.
inflation
I've
at
seen
the
it on
current
the
rate, the
internet.
one
Yeah,
dollar
I've
bills
seen it on
gonna
the
be the
internet.
I
$2.
would just if I was a cash register, I'd be like, I would take it and just replace it with 2 ones. Take that shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
Um,
a good number of people don't even realize there is a $2 bill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Lee, we'll let's just go back to the silver a minute. Odds on, mate. That's the most you're going to go down now, isn't it? It's still a huge leap forward, and it might go down, and so it can go up as well as down, or down as well as up.
Exactly.
So, like I said,
Well,
bear that in mind.
Suggesting
It's
that
more
the
likely to go down in the next 6 months, just because it's been
RW is suggesting that it's a
unprecedented highs.
supply restriction from China.
Oh,
That's my assumption because that's the only thing I'm seeing that relates.
back in elementary school, my buddy did a electroplating for the science fair,
Mhm.
and we realized we could electroplate pennies and make them silver. And then we went to all the local stores and you tried to use our pennies as dimes, and that didn't work out too well because the silver penny still looks like a penny, and it was just the dumbest sixth grade boy idea.
Isn't that like a
We brought it to the
federal
we
crime?
brought it to the drugstore, and the old pharmacist was working, and he said something like, "Wow, good Catholic boys, like you're going counterfeit now, boys." And we fucking ran out of the store and left all our fake pennies on the counter. It was like, I don't think we bought anything with these.
He
dumb-
probably still has those.
he's probably had the worms crawling through him years ago. I mean, this was 39.
He might have had the
40
worms crawling through him then.
literally, yeah. But it just the dumb shit you do as a kid. But I still remember that science project was the one I remember the most because we tried to use it to do criminal activity, but it didn't make an impact on me. And he pulled it off. I don't even know what he was doing, how you do electroplating, but it was cool.
It's true that alchemy was a very important contributor to the development of chemistry.
Yeah, there you go.
Even though nobody ever succeeded in turning lead into gold.
Mhm.
But it's a great part of most video games.
Here's one of our UK's £20 notes. Still got the Queen on, of course. And
Queen
then
Elizabeth.
on the other side, it's Mr. Turner,
I got
Famous-
some of those.
famous painter. Just so you can see. I love the.
Are your
se-
notes different lengths? Is your like in Australia, their $5 note is shorter
Well, you
than
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see
Yeah.
through that thing.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
can see through that thing.
£5 notes are smaller.
It looks like it's more
It's plastic.
expensive to make the notes than what they're actually worth.
well, they're
petroleum
plastic.
based.
Yeah,
The plastic.
yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard of JMW Turner.
Painter, famous English painter.
Wow.
And we have different, like on the £50 note, we have the guy who decoded the Enigma with his computer.
So that's a recent,
Turing.
though, right? That's a
Yeah.
most recent one. Right?
Alan Turing.
Yes, yeah. So it's famous people throughout English history. are always on
Darwin, Charles Darwin on the tenor, innit?
Yeah, that's right. Indeed.
Old Chuck D.
And who's on the fiver? Is it that chick?
Oh, Florence. Is it Florence Nightingale?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it is.
No, it's Florence and the Machine. It's the other one.
Yes, Steve's
quite
missus in
good.
the chat will be kicking
Florence.
off now. She'll be kicking off. Well, she calls her a chick.
Steve, check the back chat. How much natural gas has to be leaking at any given moment for that to look like that? I've never seen natural gas even have color.
Sorry, I just got to say one thing. No, it's Winston Churchill's on the back of the £5 notes now.
He should be.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. But it used to be Florence.
So they're doing that recently?
Huge volume, RW. Huge.
Huge.
well, we're changing our notes. We're changing our notes to plastic, Steve. So
What do you guys do? Okay, you know what's? I have a question.
See,
You guys asked us what we thought. What was your strongest leader? What do you think you guys' strongest leader was? Or
Joe
recently,
Biden.
or just or just in general?
I'd have to go back to Reagan again.
I mean,
No,
no,
for you.
For you. To
For
me,
your
like,
prime
the
minister.
Oh, yeah.
UK seems
Oh.
perpetually disgusted with its leaders. At least you guys are. So
Wait,
when
because
was the last-
you asked us what we thought about it, and what do you guys think about it?
There you go. Yeah, good question.
What, of our prime ministers?
Bingo.
Yes.
Oh, well, Base won't like me for this, but yeah, Margaret Thatcher.
Anybody newer?
Any-
No, I haven't got a problem with Margaret Thatcher.
Well, yes, we know, but she's like, you were what, 1 year old when she was around? Come on, pick
Gosh,
something.
no, I was
I was 6. I was
Six. Oh, sorry, 6.
Yeah, so I'm
Full grown
50.
6.
I'm 55, so I was in my early 20s as her demise came about. So
Okay. All right. So, out of curiosity, why?
Because the country was in a complete state. The country was also ruled by unions, and she broke those. And she decided, look, get off your ass and work. She decided to stop a lot of money that were going to people that were like claiming benefits and stuff. And it was like, you've got to get on. The only way you're going to get on with life is if you work hard. And she did privatize a lot of companies. Now that's where she becomes very controversial. But yeah, and the country went into a good.
But she broke
I-
unions.
One
Oh,
of the
yeah,
best, yeah.
massive.
One of the best things she did, though, she gave you the right to buy your council house. And
Yeah,
I mean,
was
it sounds like I kind of
very
like her.
successful.
Blood,
I
sweat,
might
and
actually,
tears.
I might actually kind of like her a little bit. Anyways,
I mean-
okay. Well, how about like modern? Within the last,
Oh.
okay, the next one after Thatcher.
Yeah, maybe
That's
do a
not-
descending order. Like,
Yeah, maybe
there's not.
just a couple. I don't know. Just out of curiosity, what do you guys think?
There's
Oh,
not.
can I also say one of the things about Margaret Thatcher that I admired the most as well? Remember, we were in the European Union at the time, and
Right.
one of the biggest things that she negotiated, much to their whole disgust, she wouldn't let it go. It was like a dog with a bone, and finally got her own way. Was that for all the money that we contribute to the European Union, what's not used we get back. And they were all against it, and she just won the day eventually. And it wasn't until Labour came in with Tony Blair that he actually then rescinded on that and said, no, just keep it then, because he wanted to get in with Europe and be one of the players. So,
Hell no.
yeah, he's completely weak.
I don't. Okay, then damn, I would. Okay,
Wait, guys. Wait, let me jump in. Right? Keir Starmer once said, same guy once given an interview. The question was Westminster or Brussels? Which one would you prefer? And he said Brussels.
fuck him.
And then we've elected him as Prime Minister like 4 years later or whatever. It's like, what
Let me ask you this: Did
that shouldn't be a red flag. That should be a black flag. That should be raced over for you, cunts.
that should be DQ, automatic DQ? He's out.
Yeah.
You know? Let me ask you guys this: Did
I don't know if he said. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did Blair beat
He did say
Thatcher,
that.
or
He
did
did say that.
Thatcher not run again?
No, she got dismissed from the job. Basically, she got knifed in the back. Maybe she'd had her time as well, and she wouldn't listen. So they turned against her, and then John Major became Prime Minister.
John
Hey,
Major.
And,
yes.
and he won. He won as well. So
Lee, I have a
Okay.
question. It's more of like so let me just try to rub this in. Cap is saying that Thatcher did not take you guys out of the EU. Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
I don't believe you said that.
What I said is the money that we contributed for what wasn't spent, she claimed back, and they were. So it was always a case that I'll make it really simple, not that say you're simple. If we contributed £1 and the EU with all its different projects spent 80p of that, she said we deserve the 20p back. You don't keep it, but what are you doing with it? We want it back. So, and eventually they had to give in, and she won the point, and that's the way it became. She also said, there's a very famous speech you'll see on YouTube, that a country that gives up its borders and other countries dictate what they can do is the road to ruin. And that's when she was famous. She said, no to Europe. We control our borders, not them. And by God, was she right as the years went by. Because we gave all of that up because we wanted to be part of the group of the EU. It's a fucking catastrophe.
I have another question, just out of curiosity. Since you guys left the EU, voted it out, right? Is who here actually voted to leave the EU? Are you guys okay with it?
Yeah, I voted for it.
Okay. Brexit.
Yeah,
That's what it was called.
Because to me, it seemed like Brexit was a good for me. I don't know. Like, I'm compared to you guys, I'm ignorant to your politics, obviously. But to me, it seemed like it was like a good thing for you guys. But it's gonna take some pain to readjust.
Yes.
So is that like? You guys still have that? Are you guys? So what's going on with that, basically? Because it happened a while ago.
Well, they kind of sold us down the street a bit. I'm sure Base will agree with me, is that most of it's good, but the biggest sticking point, which they didn't do, which they should have taken us out of the ECR. Is it ECHR, which is with Europeans' community of making laws that we still have to abide by, because they say, it's beneficial to the country, and that's why
European Convention.
Wait,
the
who
European
is
Convention
saying
of Human Rights.
The government says
Oh, the
that.
government? Oh,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Part of the deal of negotiating, of coming out, is that we had to still stay in that. We had to still be in that agreement, and that was where there was a bit of a sellout, because we should have. Well, all the negotiations that went on, because obviously you just couldn't leave. There's mass negotiations over a couple.
You know
of years.
what? That wouldn't happen if you guys had gun laws, or I should say, a lack thereof.
Yeah, back in a minute, Drew.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Well, honestly, I think it was a good move for you guys to leave that, but I think you're being punished for leaving the EU. Like, you're being intentionally punished for it.
We're not doing amazing, but when you look at the big picture, Europe's doing worse.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's better for you guys.
Economically, culturally, they're having the same problems we're having over here. So,
And you're still getting it. You're still getting a bunch of Muslims from boats.
well, it's I just call it the third world, really.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we've got enough kitchen porters and car wash salesmen and delivery lads. We've got enough of them, thanks. We don't want any more.
Common market. Interesting.
I mean, but the reality is, let me give you the bold reality. So on the small boats, the ones that just turn up, they're about 40 to 50,000 a year. We're accepting on average around about 700,000 a year. In 2023, net was 1.1 million. So that was legal. So that's students, work visas.
Yeah, imagine if you were allowed to defend yourselves and actually maybe use your military to defend your kind of hard to defend borders with a bunch of boats, right? Where do these boats come in from?
Well, the thing is, the boats is only like 5-10% of what comes in the country. The problem we've got with it is the reality is illegal migration is a bigger problem than illegal migration. Yeah.
Really?
Well, listen to me, because I've said it once now, right? In 2023, legally, we brought in net 1.1 million, the government, legally. So on average, 700,000 a year we're bringing in net.
So how do you legally, like, how is that approved through the process? Like, what's your legal process that makes them go through so many?
It's all legal. It's all done legally by the UK government and the customs and all that.
It sounds insane. I think that's bullshit.
So the boat people are like 10%, depending how much comes through legally, but it's literally 5% of what comes through legally. So I mean, we've got to turn these numbers down to tens of thousands, not multiple hundreds of thousands.
Wait, so legal? Okay, so you're saying that it's legally? I mean,
legally, mate. So the boat people are about 5% of what comes in the country a year.
So they're importing it like through flights, not like they're just trying to rush your borders, but they're saying, okay, you guys can come over and you're stamped and approved, and they can just come over.
Yeah, well, basically, if you had a job in, say NHS, because a lot of people that arrive in the country on work visas, if you're a nurse, you work for the NHS. The left think they arrive on boats and they're like qualified doctors. No, they get a golden ticket on a plane. And there'll be a little person with a plaque saying, "Hello, Mr. Patel, come this way. The taxi's waiting." I mean, like I said, the people who are coming on the boats, for example, they're just trying their luck, 100%. The other people are still trying their luck. The ones that go through legally on student visas, the student visas adds up to hundreds of thousands a year. So we're getting like 100, 200,000 student visas. And a lot of them overstay. A lot of them just, they're a bit like in America, where they just disappear in the ethos.
There's a guy about 5 or 6 weeks. Well, basically, no, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, who had applied to 6 European countries and was turned down because he was known as being dangerous, a rapist, I think. And so he just got on a boat and came to England, and they processed him. He can stay here. So obviously something like that makes news. But the other thing, the expenditure that goes on is phenomenal. It's just dominoes all over the place. So when you come into the country, you're going to get, first of all, a health check. Maybe you have your free dentistry as well, which costs so much here. I'm sure it does in the US. But then there was a story saying because they had registered with a doctor in the town where they had landed, you have to stay on that doctor's books. So then they get then they get assigned to somewhere else in the country. So let's say it might be Bristol, and then but they've got to have their doctor's appointment still in Dover or somewhere, or which so the government pays like the news was that the one guy they spent £600 on the taxi fare because he has to go to the doctor that he was first registered with. I mean, the costs go on. It's just phenomenal the amount of money we're paying out. It's unreal.
Well, they have mobile dentists, and they have basically triage and basic medical care in the hotels itself, or they have the mobile dentist go around. It's like a Mercedes Sprinter, and it's disguised, but basically it's a mobile dentist.
Can I ask you guys?
I'm going to present a question here to the group regarding something similar to this. So you mentioned student visas. We had people on student visas who are expressing certain opinions here in the United States who are getting removed and having their visas revoked for these opinions. Is this something that you guys agree with? We'll go through the whole panel. Let's start with you, Last Dance.
Not if they've been admitted, not post admission. No, I don't agree with it.
So they're on a student visa. They're an active student at, say, Harvard, and they express certain certain enemies of the United States opinions, and that apparently is enough then for our State Department to revoke their visa and have them removed from the country.
They can revoke it for any reason, but I don't think they should.
So do you think that it is a bastardization of the free speech because they don't have to be a citizen to be covered under that? Is that what your conflict is?
It's certainly an anti-free speech measure. I don't know that it's not clear to me that it violates the First Amendment, but it certainly is censorship.
Projecting violence.
Hang on. He said he was going to go down the panel, so let him go down the panel.
Okay.
Anything else on that?
We need a context of what the person said. That's what I believe. Then you can give a more qualified answer.
They were
You
basically.
know what the person thinks.
I didn't want to say it directly, but they were basically pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel.
I understand that, but did they say unalive the IDF or something like that? Did they say? Because if it had said that, because that's projecting violence.
So I'm guessing this is like the question comment section where we can actually ask from your response stance. Is that okay? Is that how it's going on? I'm just curious.
Sure. Yeah, as long as we give ample time for everybody to get an answer, and I don't care if we interject and stuff. Yeah. Sure.
Because I like the idea of going down the panel and asking, and then that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, if anyone, I don't know specific, you'd have to pull it up to see what specifically these people said, but I don't think it was that inflammatory, but I do think it would be considered anti-Semitic, and it would be considered pro-Palestinian. And I guess since we considered Palestine to be, or Hamas, I guess it's not pro-Palestinian, or is it pro-Hamas that's the problem?
If we're talking about the Turkish student,
yeah,
she just wrote a newspaper piece criticizing the Tufts University's response to conflict. It was basically a pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel op-ed.
Yeah.
It didn't have any explicit support for Hamas.
All right. Interesting. And you're saying that they should not revoke the student visa?
Not for that.
Okay.
Well, I disagree.
And wait, hold on. They're a citizen?
No. Student visa.
Just want to make that clear. I want to make that doubly clear.
Citizens don't have visas.
Not a citizen. That's why I want to make it clear. Not a citizen, student visa, and they're talking about that kind of stuff. Good. Got it. All right.
Right. But can I just throw in universities are supposed to be like a place for some rebellious thinking, some expansion of the mind. I'm not saying
yeah, I get you.
There's a fine line to be walked here. I guess Last Dance is saying this person did not walk on the bad side of the line. Not
Okay.
And you consider them to have yes, Riddle?
Oh, well, for me, I would absolutely revoke that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's a solid yes.
It's
They
a
were
solid-
well beyond the line.
I
for
absolutely disagree
expressing
with
their-
Last Dance on this one. Yes.
So for this person expressing their opinion. Now, if this person felt that way but did not express their opinion, they'd be completely fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did not express their. Of course. Why would if they didn't say that kind of rhetoric? It's hateful rhetoric now, isn't it?
So you're saying that once you put it in print form, that is a violation, and so that having
yeah.
it
I mean,
in,
it sounds like hate speech, right? An actual hate speech, like actual hate speech.
yeah. I mean, shocking thing. I don't think hate speech should be illegal. I'm crazy.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because that's crazy. Okay, because it technically is not covered by the First Amendment, right?
No, it
is
is.
covered.
It is covered.
It
the only
is-
thing that isn't
it is?
covered is a direct incitement of violence.
There's no such
Violence,
thing as
yeah.
hate speech in the United States.
Oh, really? So
Correct.
if I went in, okay, okay, so because we've talked about this before, like a long time ago. If I was gonna say, okay, I want to kill all black people on a campus speech.
Projecting violence.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that- is that not-
You're
That
adding,
is protected.
that is
but you're
protected.
also adding another layer.
But you don't.
into
But
that.
you don't agree with it, do you? Now,
No, I don't
You
think
don't-
you should kill all black people.
no. That's speech.
What speech?
What I just said.
No, yeah, I don't think you should kill all black people.
Okay,
Okay, right. So that is not. So you don't agree with the speech, but like you don't think it should be punished
But
at
like
all
that-
if people do go out into public campuses and say that kind of stuff.
Well,
Can I
it
get the
shouldn't be
definition
punished
sorted
by the
out?
government.
Shouldn't be
Okay,
by the
can I get-
government. Okay.
But surely,
Okay, what
I
you
mean,
just
my
wait there,
opinion is-
wait there. I've been trying to get in. Wait there. You just mentioned about black people and wanting to hurt these people. So that would be projecting violence. Now, from what I know, that's not protected.
No,
You're
because you're not.
protecting
You're
your-
not.
It doesn't
not-
count as a true threat, so it is protected.
You're not threatening a person.
Exactly.
Right. It's got to be
So
the individual.
only
It
if
could
you
be-
threaten a specific person, then it is not protected speech anymore. It is an action. It's considered a threat of an action, right?
If
Is that what you're saying?
Right.
something called true threats, which have a legal definition, are not protected.
So you are abiding by the law, even though you don't agree with it, right?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. I am always abiding by the law.
Well,
I-
Do you agree
what
with
I'm
all
saying is
laws?
that you don't agree with it, but you abide by the law. It's pretty straightforward. You
Well,
don't
well,
agree with
surely
it, but
things,
you abide by the
surely
law.
you don't think everything you disagree with should be illegal.
Oh,
No,
absolutely
it shouldn't.
not.
But
Right. But
my point about it was, I think you're right. But at the end of the day, it's, if you're going to use your Harvard University example, you are a guest of the country. So therefore, you behave in a way that you respect the fact you've got there's a golden opportunity in life here that you've been allowed to go to Harvard University. It flows both ways. They may discover something, they may come up with something and decide to stay in the country, and their intellect enables them to employ people and start a company, whatever. But at that time, whilst you're studying, you are a guest, and therefore
Right.
you do not start rhetoric about how you hate the people in the country. Because if you want to simplify it even more, imagine you take a guest into your house. Okay, they might want to criticize your wife's cooking. You might think, well, I'm not going to chuck you out for that. If you didn't like what she cooked tonight, fair enough. But if they start doing things about they hate your kids and they'd like to kill them, you'd ask them to leave the house, wouldn't you? It's the same sort of thing. Get out of the country. If you
Yeah.
don't like it, then go.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
to make the point, Lee. Can you imagine, like, anyone, American, British, French, whatever, going to Serbia and start pushing some very progressive things to like the children and stuff, or you just wouldn't do it because you're a guest in the country. Behave yourself, take the opportunities in front of you, right? And don't get involved in any political. Because
Is this some sort of a non sequitur?
start-
You're going with the threatening children from what we're talking about here? Like, it seems like you've gone down a rabbit hole.
No, it was just an extreme example. If you had somebody in your house and they were a guest of yours, it was an extreme example.
No. Ain't no
Well, if
motherfucker coming
if
up in
somebody's
here.
making rhetoric that they hate
If you-
Jews,
if you-
and they should be
It was
killed,
an extreme analogy based off of an emotional appeal. That's what it was.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're going to make a point, then you're going to make a.
But I
big
agree
point.
with. But I agree
your
with
point.
what Lee said. I do agree with that. Like, let's be real here. I do, and I think a lot more people nowadays, especially do, especially when the results are happening. Like, people are being attacked, they are being murdered, they are being attacked. Let's be real here. It's just a fact. So I do not believe that the First Amendment should be applied to people that are not citizens.
Okay, so you
They do
believe
not
that-
deserve our Constitution if they don't appreciate our
No, they
citizens.
don't.
I agree.
Just not there.
I agree. I
they're
agree
there as
with you.
a guest of the country. They're there.
Yes,
they
they're a guest-
what about
the United
what
States? of
about
America.
some of the amendments specifically don't apply to citizens? They say it's to people, like due process,
Persons.
persons, or a lot of the things
Due process?
are applied to not people who are citizens, but people who are present in the country.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Can you give me an example?
Due process.
Right, no, of people that are in the country of due process. Like, what you're asking me, like, how I think due process should be applied to
No.
non-citizens?
What an example is due process. That's supposed to be given to everybody here,
Oh,
citizen or not. And another example, I believe, is
I don't agree. I think that due process should be applied accordingly.
okay. It's not
That's
how
it.
it's written.
Well,
But that's
that's
fine.
is that. Can we wait? How is it written exactly? That
I can read it.
non yes, please. Non-citizens. Yeah, actually, just read it.
The Fifth Amendment starts out, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime. There's a bunch of clauses, nor deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Okay,
No,
without
no
due
person,
process.
not no citizen, no person.
No person. Interesting. So you could argue that it
But
doesn't
what are the
apply
clauses?
to it doesn't apply to it just applies to everybody, just non-citizens.
Correct.
Interesting. What
Now,
year was this written?
here's a long ass time ago. This is one of the original ones.
Gotcha.
But this begs the question of what is due process. This could literally mean
Yes, sir.
like you could have 10,000 people in a room and a judge could say, "You're all here illegally. Process deportation. Done. That's it. Fucking it could be
Exactly.
5 seconds." But it
Dude,
has to be some
exactly.
level of it. And I guess it's sort of
That's a great point. That due process of law is different for a non-citizen than it would be for a citizen.
That's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't mean there's no law.
No, I'm not saying there's no process at all. I'm just saying that there should be a due process, but the due process applies differently to non-citizens than it does to actual citizens.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it might just mean that somebody with more of a level of law, maybe with an actual bar level,
Oh, okay.
certification says, yes, ICE detained them properly. They're illegal. They should be deported. And it could be done in large groups of people just to make sure we're getting the right people here, There's nothing wrong with being thorough in your judgment. I think it's a good thing. And I'm not saying each one of them needs to have a fucking trial either, by no means.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, so that's interesting. You brought up ICE out of this, right? Because I don't
Sure.
believe there was a mention of ICE before. But now that there is, you're referencing to how ICE does, quote unquote, do like undue processes for certain people.
No, ICE does their part. They round them up. And the process should be that somebody with like some
Okay.
legal qualification says, okay, yes, you're illegal. There's your due process. Now
Yeah,
we're gonna
usually-
deport-
Usually
Deport.
that's why they round them up in the first place.
We need to make base the judge.
You're right. Like it's the same as if a bunch of if 20 fucking
Let's
vice,
base
20 vice
the
cops
judge. Oh.
round up a ton of
Hey,
gang
Mr.
members.
Kilson.
The vice cops don't say
Merry
you're all
Christmas.
gang members. You're all now convicted of RICO, but it's obviously somebody higher. So ICE does their job. The due process comes shortly thereafter. If it's done in an efficient manner, they should be gone, and that's how it should work. Nice and efficient. Everybody gets 3 hots and a cot. Nobody needs anything more. And that's it. Like we treat our prisoners in jail here waiting for trial is how they're going to get treated.
I see you, Mr. Kelsey. Merry Christmas. I apologize for interrupting. Just want to say.
What constitutes due process of law is, at the federal level, is established by Congress that writes the laws on how to treat various administrative and criminal matters. And particularly on immigration, there's a bunch of laws about how to deport people and what sort of redress they have and so forth.
Right. Okay, but I guess that's a whole different topic. We can get into that, but what about? Let's digress a little bit about this free speech in the college campuses, right?
There you go. There you go.
That's what originally we're talking about.
Sure.
I'll just say I really believe that if you're talking about that, if you're being a political activist and you're a guest in the country, then you do not have the same safeties and privileges of the United States Constitution because you are not a citizen. You're just not allowed to. You're just not. Now you obviously will be. You have leniency because let's be real here. In Western countries, we just give you that. We just do.
I mean, let's not bullshit here.
No,
the only reason they're being deported is they said something that Trump didn't like. If the same student had said they should overthrow the Constitution and Trump should be the king forever, there's no way.
Well, let's not.
The current
all right, you're talking about this
system would seek to deport him.
What is this particular? Okay, then let's not bullshit here. You're talking about a specific student.
Ramisa Ozturk.
Okay, yeah, I mean, is it Trump or would it be like would it be the Zionist?
I'm sorry. Who is this person? Who is this person?
She wrote the article that we've been talking about. She was basically apprehended in the streets of I want to say Cambridge. I'm not positive on that. It was near her apartment in Massachusetts.
What's her name?
I'll put it
Ozturk. Yeah, it's Ozturk. It's very odd. She's obvious. I believe she's Turkish because it has Turk in her name.
She's Turkish.
Yeah. Because people from Turkey are not a threat. That's okay.
I'm in the same situation as Lee. Really, you're in a foreign country. You've gone to a top university.
Merry Christmas, killer. Oh, so you mean it's somebody that's actually making terroristic threats?
No, I said that to Mr. Kill C1. I call him Killer because I don't want to type.
Oh, I'm sorry. Name. Okay, my bad. I'm
lazy. And he shows up late when I'm usually buzzed, so Killer is easier than Mr. Kill C1. So
Dr. Asuna Tufts. Okay, my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, let me see. Mesa, and she's been also be a political activist here.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what she did, really. It was a bizarre scenario. She's walking down the street, like some undercover guys walked up to her, and at least if one of them was uniformed, so she really couldn't say that.
There's nothing wrong with what she did, like when she got detained, or there's nothing wrong with what she did before.
I don't really care what she wrote. I don't think it was a big deal. I kind of detest her for her opinion. I think she's shit, but I don't think she's like.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
I don't think she's subverting her student visa or some sort of obligation that she has.
Subverting. I don't know what you
to-
mean by subverting her student visa.
Like, I don't think she is basically needs to be deported for what she wrote, or having her student visa taken away for
Oh,
her
okay.
opinions. That's just
now. Okay. So you and Dance both agree that she should not be deported, or at least be on some kind of punishment. It's some kind of punishment. Nothing at all. She should just continue with what she's doing now.
Well, I think she's gone.
Well,
Hey,
no,
Martin.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's gone or not. I'm asking what you guys
All
think.
right,
that she
Martin.
should be doing.
Merry,
Martin.
happy Christmas, Martin.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to hear from Martin.
Damn.
Great guy. If Martin wants, I'll play him a song. Name the song. And your question, Riddle, I don't think she should have been gathered up by the police, the federal police, and deported. I would rather they had deported people who were.
So she
here.
got deported.
No.
She got gathered up and
Yeah, she got arrested.
detained.
Okay.
I don't know what happened since.
So
then.
she did not get deported.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Excuse me. Jesus, that was ill-timed. Sorry.
It's all good.
I will listen while I do
It's
some
all
wiping.
It's all good. All right. Well, I mean, okay. Well, I think we should respectfully agree to disagree. You guys think that she should have a freedom of speech, and all these laws should be applied properly to her as it does to an average U.S. citizen expressing their freedom of speech. And I just don't believe that. I just don't. And you know what? The thing is, many more people believe that as well. Like, it's just an increasing number of how I feel.
Yep.
Why do you think and I don't even agree with Nick Fuentes, but why do you think Nick Fuentes is becoming such a popular thing? It's because you're being too fair to people that do not deserve to be treated fairly.
Okay. Yeah, let me give you some examples. Well, when you fuck around abroad, for example, if you fuck around in Dubai, for example, in the back of a cab with a girl, you might end up getting arrested and spending a number of days, weeks in prison. For example, that Bonnie Blue, there's some British sort of whore. She went to Bali, I think it was, and she took a load of boys back to the bedroom, and they arrested her with 16 men. Right? Now, like that Vitali guy that was in, I think he went to Korea or somewhere, and he fucked around somewhere in the Far East. And they arrested him. They're going to sentence him for about maybe up to 10 years. He's in prison now. He's been in prison for like, I mean, wherever you are in the world, when you fuck around, sometimes you find out. And
What was that?
I know about the Constitution and all that, but
Let me. Can I ask a reversal question?
When in Rome, do as the Romans do. It's an old saying, but it's true.
What was that poor kid's name who got taken in by North Korea? Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier. I mean, yeah. Here's the thing: we're not North Korea, so
Exactly.
like, we're not these countries that you're giving examples of. We're happy not to be.
Wait there. I didn't say you were North Korea. I didn't give that purposely an example. I give a streamer, Vitali, that was going up to old ladies and offering them money, and then taking hats off coppers, policemen's helmets and stuff. And they turned around and said, "You fucking played around with our citizens. You spilling stuff in shops and all sorts of crazy, really attention-seeking, rage-baiting sort of material." And they
That sounds a lot worse than writing an article in a student union newspaper, or.
Well, let me ask you this.
Well, even more relevant is that might be illegal, where that kid did it, that influencer, but writing an op-ed in support of Gaza and against Israel is not illegal in the United States.
Yeah, but would I turn around and do some
Oh my
heavy
God,
petting in the back
there's
of the
obviously
back
more
of the-
to it, dude. Come on, there's got to be more to it than just support of Gaza as opposed to Israel. There's clearly more
just
to
wanted
it.
Well, you could look it up. I think she was thanked or expressed, said that she was working with or in common cause with Students for Justice in Palestine, which
So was there a link
people claim
to
is a front for Hamas, but there's really no
Uh,
evidence of that.
no evidence of that? Okay.
None.
So what am I looking up then?
Well, you're skeptical, so go look up.
Oh, I mean, I could.
Rocket.
Okay, am I supposed to use this against you next time you're skeptical? All right. I thought that since you were claiming this, you were supposed to show me. But if I got to look it up from what you're claiming, then this becomes a little bit of.
I have showed you.
Where is it?
It's in the chat. I've told you what she was.
in the,
she was arrested for.
I mean, I guess what it comes down to is you guys have this specific thing with the fact that she's here on a, as Lee said in such a eloquent and emphatic way, guest. Guest aspect. She's not a citizen, so it's the holding to a different standard is it's like you guys are going down. And I
Wait,
can
so
appreciate
so
that.
what was the accusation again? Like why she got deported? Just for supporting Israel? I'm sorry, Palestine. That's
Well,
it?
she got her visa revoked, and she hasn't been deported yet, but deport she can be now.
Oh,
And-
okay, so
and
she.
yes,
Okay.
it's right what you said about the article. It was pro Palestine, anti Israel on that vein. That
Well, how bad was it? I mean, where's the thing that Dan's posted? I'm not sure where it's at.
Oh, I'll put it on the screen. It was 2 lines.
Look, I would say Grocket, because Grocket will give an overview, won't it?
I just feel like to be honest, I think that like I'm not saying that this is how the rules are. Otik was one of the first. This is the link or an op-ed to
Yeah, but
like,
with regard to your laws and what each citizen can get into trouble for or can't get into regarding your constitution, this, that, and that I'm not going to disagree with you with. She has a right to make that speech, but my point is, I don't think it's a bad thing that they are deporting her, because I just don't think it's morally right that you start to, anyone starts any hate speech along those lines when they are there, as Stu says, I said, as a guest to study. You're there for speech, not to start spreading hate. So I understand where you're coming from, because you should be able to talk about it, but I can certainly see that it was a good idea to get rid of her. I don't think there's anything wrong in doing that.
And she's not a child. She's 30, and it looks like she's 30, and she's studying for a doctorate. She knows what she's doing.
She's not a grad student. Okay, here we go. I did what
when you say
asked.
student,
I grokked it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, do we want key points or an over? Key points would be best.
Key points.
It criticized Tufts University President Kumar's response to earlier
Kumar.
Sunil Kumar.
Nice American name.
Criticized.
There's my university.
The piece urged the university administration to acknowledge Israel's action in Gaza as a Palestinian genocide, disclose all financial investments, and divest from all companies with direct or indirect ties to Israel. That's a lot of companies.
Yeah, that is a lot of them.
A lot. It renewed calls for the university to implement pro-Palestinian student demands, framing them as moral imperative amid the ongoing Israel-Gaza conflict. The op-ed became central to a high-profile student visa revoked by Trump administration Marco Rubio publicly confirming the revocation, which was ridiculous. He fucking mentioned it, leading to her arrest by ICE. The government cited her as engagement in activities in support of Hamas, a designated terrorist organization, and that is the major downfall of her.
Okay, well, to be honest, I don't even like Israel that much. But I'll tell you one thing I don't like is citizens that are not citizens, I should say, coming over here and fucking being political activists. I'm okay with them being
Right.
deported in that sense. I really don't like that. I don't care either way of what it is.
Agreed.
I would
I mean,
never
it's
go to
really-
another country and start being a political activist for something that has nothing to do with them. It's insane.
I mean, can you imagine, right? You think about it now, right? So Hamas is ideologically opposed to the West, yeah? You know, they think we're evil, etc. We're an enemy to them. That's what
Yeah.
they believe. So why would you want someone who's not a U.S. citizen, who believes down those lines? Oh,
Yeah,
it would just be a risk too far.
Especially these days, it's already been it's a known fact that there is a lot of foreign investment from other countries into these high education colleges. It's an unfortunate thing. They've already arrested multiple people for it, for trying to this is a problem.
All right, let's turn the tables here on Last Dance. Last Dance. So Hamas is a designated terrorist organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is ISIS?
Yes.
So if the same piece had been written about ISIS in, say, Syria or any other place that they've taken over, would you apply the same logic to it?
Absolutely. It's exactly the same.
You don't think there's some? You don't think there's some sort of? You don't think there's some sort of leeway given here? Sorry, Lee.
Look at
for the fact that it's
logically.
Israel and Palestine and Hamas, like they're
Well,
more.
she didn't. I haven't been able to find the editorial itself that she wrote, amazingly, but as far as I know, she didn't reference Hamas directly or indirectly at all.
Yeah, but why would you want a non-citizen, right, that clearly goes down those lines in your country in the first place?
I wouldn't.
Well, there we are then. You should agree with us.
You already let her in the country. She's already legally in the country. You're different. Not being in the country.
Yes, but when you
A
start
whole lot
talking-
different.
Now
start
she
being
stuck a nose into political things in a guest country.
yes.
Now you know. Now you can just because that's a risk.
No,
Look,
not
we've
America,
seen-
because we're American.
Okay, and people
politician
have
there to
been
protect
people have been taking actions, and people have been dying. In this current political climate, do you think that's okay to do?
I think that question is completely irrelevant to the issue at hand.
How is it irrelevant? I think it's absolutely relevant.
It's a question solely of rights, First Amendment rights.
Solely of rights. See, the problem with you is that you are
That's talking
so
about
stuck
logic.
on
That's
legal
what I'm talking about,
aspects.
logic.
No. I see the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I
like,
agree with Last Dance.
wait there. Logically, use your common sense and logically, what would be the best for the USA? What would be the best for the USA is to get rid of this non-citizen.
No, the
clearly
best for the
viewed
USA is
to
for us
against
to.
the good of the USA.
The
Bye-bye.
best for the USA is for us to grasp on to the Constitution and to never let a fucking thing go. And whenever one starts to go, we have to fight against it.
Exactly.
Even if we
Agreed.
despise the person, like with the bottom of your
No.
heart, you just hate what they're
No.
saying. You hate
They're
That's-
not, they're not even. They're not even a U.S. citizen. They're not a U.S. citizen anyway.
I
so it's not
agree
very
with
covered
you.
that.
I
We covered
agree with
that.
you. I agree with you if they're a U.S. citizen, but they're not. They don't deserve to be covered by our Constitution. They're just simple as that. They just don't.
you have to put some kind of a bizarre amendment into an already existing thing that says, okay, we're going to change it slightly so it doesn't say person to.
Well, they are called amendments for a reason.
Why? And why? By the way, why is it?
You don't edit them?
Yeah, but by the same token, just as another observation, when you look at American universities, then attracting students to get the best possible talent they could get, that would be a global thing. That would be people from countries obviously all around the world that have that ability to get that opportunity. Isn't it strange that everyone can have a gripe, in the world about their history and this, that, and the other, but it only ever seems to be one group of people that want to spread such hate and death and carnage. Whereas I don't see many Chinese people out in America making these sort of comments. Portugal, Spain, Italy, New Zealand, wherever it might be. It always seems to come down to this one group of fucking people, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, Lee. I mean, at Last Dance, why don't you chime in?
No, I think the place and the place to make that stand, to draw that line, is when you're considering somebody to enter the United States, because then you have no obligations. They're not in the United States. They have no constitutional rights at all, and so you could decide that, this person looks suspicious.
Okay. Through what port of entry are you talking to?
Any and all ports of entry to the United States.
Really?
It should be really mostly the State Department, I would think.
Wait,
I'd love to see the general public Americans' reaction to.
It's not going to be that way.
A group of Russian students marching down, flying the Russian flag, going, "You're the Axis because you're supplying Ukraine with missiles." I wonder how long they would last.
Well, here's the funny thing:
well, they're smarter, so they wouldn't do that.
The Cold War.
Right. Okay, so she wasn't smart then, was she? She was a bloody idiot.
Damn.
The Cold War,
No doubt.
The Russian students.
Faith.
Go ahead.
No, I just had to throw faith in there as we were coming.
I don't think Russian students would have the effect that this woman had because of Russia.
With all your history with Russia, come on. You got 1,000 students marching down the street
crazy
and criticizing your country, and they're studying there. And let's make it 5,000 then. I don't think the Americans would like that much. They'd be asking them to be deported. Come on.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would you think Russian students should be deported for
talking shit?
Advocating against U.S. arms transfers to Ukraine?
If they're criticizing the country, yes. Absolutely.
Well, hold on.
Why wouldn't you?
Are they? Hold on. You said Russian students, right?
Yeah.
This is all on a student visa discussion. We're not talking citizens.
Yeah.
All I want to do is student visa, right? Okay. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
How about Israeli students advocating for continued arms sales to Israel?
I would absolutely deport them.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah. And you know what?
Okay. Why would you deport them?
And now they get assassinated for that because the Jews have a lot of control. Let's be real here.
Why? Yeah, right. Why would they be? Why would you deport them?
Because you're advocating
you're a foreign
for more
student,
arms.
because you're a foreign student.
It's already U.S. policy.
And you shouldn't get involved. You shouldn't get involved in political things.
It doesn't matter if it's U.S. policy. It does not matter.
Well, then you should make that a condition of their entry into the visa program.
I agree. Now, when can we vote for amendments? Like, I swear to God, we need to change a lot of stuff in our Constitution.
You can't vote for amendments.
Yeah, I know, but I really wish we could.
It's very indirect. The states ratify them, and
it'll just never happen. But what I'm saying is that you get these foreign people coming into the country. They've been here for a while, just on student visas. Clearly, she's 30, and she's getting a PhD here, and she's also being a political activist and using everything that our country has to give her.
Don't get me wrong.
Get her out. She's annoying. Get her out.
There's no doubt. that it is kind of an outrageous sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
that
it is.
You could come to another country
She's not a
and
kid.
start participating in their political arena. But that's kind of the miracle of America.
Right,
Is where,
but no,
where
but
that
notice,
over.
but here's the thing. But notice the phrasing. Notice the phrasing and how it's actually portrayed. Is that it seems like she's just a student. She's a young student, but she's not. She's 30 and she's going for a PhD.
It's my opinion. Any college student is an adult. I hate that.
Understood.
I hate it when student is used as like a term
Right.
of
Like young
you know,
youth. Like
cut them a break kind of a thing.
right, exactly. And that's it. But that is what it's used as.
Just forget the student visa. Just say they're on a visa.
Okay, fine. Either way, get her
Whatever
out of here.
visa. They're adults on a visa.
I'm okay with her being deported.
What about if
They're in a
they're
guest
on
country.
what
If you're
they're
on a student visa in the United States, I do not believe that you should be a political activist in any way, shape, or form.
So do
Not-
you apply the same thing? There's a visa that's called a permanent resident alien visa or green card that they have to renew every 5 years. So do you think that those people would have no right or ability to engage in these same protests as the Palestinian broad?
Wait, what about that card?
Well, do you think those that hold it should be held to the same standards as this student who had her visa revoked?
I don't know anything about that card. Why don't you tell me about the card? Do they have?
Well,
what
it's called a
privileges?
It's called a permanent resident alien,
Okay.
and the person who holds it has to renew it every 5 years, and it also
Oh my
gives them
God.
the right to work here
No, that should first off.
of course, and live here, of course.
Okay. Yeah, first off, I don't believe that should exist in the first place. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
My
and
wife wouldn't be here
intentional.
then.
I was just
It's
going to say, what if
absolutely-
you marry
It's
What if you
absolutely
married
it's
someone from
absolutely
England?
It's absolutely
That's a
intentional.
that's a different set of parameters.
Well,
though.
look. Well,
I
then
don't
then
think you
then
use that.
restructure. I don't look. First off, I don't care. Like, no offense, guys, but like that should not be that way. It should be restructured in the first place. The immigration process and everything else should be restructured in the first place. The
Right.
reason why it's created as it is right now is to be taken advantage of. It's
That's
simple
not
as
the
that.
reason it was created. They didn't intend in its creation to have it be taken advantage of. That
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
make any sense.
Well, for my scenario, my
okay,
wife
but-
doesn't want to be a U.S. citizen, but she wants to live here. So her only option is a green card. That allows
Okay,
her
but
to
let's-
work
let's-
and stay.
And
Understood.
that's
But
why I
let's-
say it's a different set of circumstances. I don't
Riddle,
think you use it-
Riddle says she better shut her mouth.
I don't
let's
think you can
then
use
let's
that as
be
an
real here.
example.
Let's be real here. In all honesty, I know that's not what it was created for, right, Steve? But let's be real here. That's what happens. It just does.
You know, what's the harm that someone writes an op-ed?
What's the harm?
That someone writes an op-ed
Oh.
saying what
Right,
every
right.
other Democrat and leftist says? Is that really a big deal?
Apparently,
Everybody who is
Yeah, she's a
anything on
guest.
Twitter writes
She's
10
a guest.
op-eds a day about
Mm.
hating
Yeah.
other people.
Exactly.
She's a guest.
That's an op-ed.
She's a
But
guest.
this one person did it who was not a citizen, who was here on a visa, and now all of a
There you
sudden,
go.
that's it.
Bingo.
That's
Not a,
it.
ci-
is
not
that
a-
is
not
that
a
the whole
citizen.
of it though, or was this individual in organizations and also doing other things, or is it literally that she just wrote something?
I don't know.
No,
I don't
she
know
was
about
being
the
a
other
political
things.
activist.
See, I hate.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, right? We're talking about the same person.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
Mesa Ostrich.
Yeah, she was being a political activist, is what she was doing.
It's hard for me to express this, but we are a country of values.
speak about it.
Our Constitution is a bold statement, or it was in
That should
1789.
only apply to U.S. citizens.
It was a statement
I agree.
of what the law, what rules should apply to all human beings,
Yeah, and to what degree, right?
because these are seen as natural rights, not just American rights. That every human being possesses these rights.
Natural
only-
rights.
These are natural rights. The
What are
right to
natural
free
rights?
speech. They're rights you get by being born as a human.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not giving the. You're not
I
giving
think-
any
I
rights,
think that's a
man.
privilege, it's not a natural
wait,
right.
wait there. wait, I'll explain to you now because of forced doctrine. If you're given freedom of speech by the force of people, right? You're
No.
given any rights you're given.
Why
You're
should
not
you have
given
freedom of
God-given
speech at all?
rights.
Why should anybody have
Well,
freedom?
exactly.
Of speech?
That's my point. Exactly.
Why should
That's my point.
Americans have freedom of speech?
So it's forced doctrine. It's forced
Because
doctrine.
they're the citizens of the country, so they have that right.
Well, why?
Well, we
Yes,
we,
but
we
that's
fought
why
all.
is it a
for
right?
it.
That's all.
because we
That's all.
because we
Wait,
fought a
but
war
every
over
right,
it.
That's right. We fought for it.
every
That
right you
war-
have, you're given. Every right you're given by somebody, right? That is agreed as a whole. So they're not natural. They're not God given. They're
Yeah,
all
we see the chat.
by the force.
No, that you've misunderstood what I was saying. The only reason we have a First Amendment is because our founders believed that people are born with the freedom of speech. It's true that only the United States is able to protect the free speech rights of people in the United States. We're not going over to some other country to enforce their free speech rights. But the whole point, the only reason they're even in our Constitution is because our founders believed that these were natural rights that people were born with by virtue of being civilized human beings.
If I arrive in your country tomorrow, then, and just on a boat, for example, and I walk into USA, am I entitled to everything that every US citizen is entitled to?
No,
No,
quite.
not at all.
Right.
But
Why
you
the hell
are
would you?
entitled to-
Well, there you go then, last up. Why should they be entitled? There's some things that they just can't do, which is, load of hate speech. Now, I know your laws say they can, and you're proud of the fact that you're such a free country. I get that. But I could certainly understand that sometimes you've got to be a bit sensible, and there are some exceptions to the rule that you say you can't do that. You can't do this, that, or the other. You can't incite violence and trouble. That's not right. It's morally
Was
not
the
right.
student doing that? Was the student inciting violence?
Well, we don't totally
creating hate
know.
speech?
Yeah, do we? We just.
My point is, let's step back from the Constitution itself. Let's step back from the whether it applies to just citizens or just our citizens and legal aliens or everybody whose feet are in the United States. Let's just talk about the values that are in there and what they represent. And those values say that Ramesa Ozturk, because she's a human being, has this right to freedom of speech. Now, she's not going to have that right in Turkey, but when she comes to the U.S., we should grant her that right because we claim that every human being has that right. We can only enforce it and protect it on people in the U.S. That's true, but here she is in the U.S.
Well, I'm a human being, so why is it when I arrive in your country, why can't I just go? Well, I should be entitled to everything because I'm a human being. I shouldn't have any.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean by everything?
This is like birthright citizenship. Because you get here, you're allowed to have it. It's ridiculous.
I've arrived, so I want money. I want some property.
No.
That's not a human right.
That's not a human right. Exactly. Those aren't natural rights.
To be fed. That's not a human right.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
No.
But last chance.
You have a human right to feed yourself. Yes.
You have rights that were given by fellow humans, but you haven't got a human right. You haven't got natural rights.
No, you're talking about the implementation, how it's protected. I'm talking about why what's the point of having those rights at all?
Because it's considered in certain cultures to be humane.
It's considered to be a right of for humans.
In some cultures.
Well, in this culture,
this culture.
Well, you said outside the Constitution. Now, this is just us humans, us together, outside the Constitution.
Yes. So we look at Ramesa Ozturk. She looks like a human being. She seems educated. She speaks well. She writes. She doesn't seem to be violent.
And she knows better. She should know better then.
What? She knows that she's She should
She
be allowed
knows
to speak.
exactly
And
what she's doing.
those are our values that Ramesa should be
Well, it doesn't matter.
free to speak on
You asked what
matters
our
of
opinion was.
conscience.
Outside of the Constitution, right? You're saying what we're talking about right now, outside of our U.S. Constitution, we're just speaking as humans, right?
Yes.
Now she knows what she's doing. She is smart enough to know exactly what the hell she's doing. She's absolutely taking over everything that
Thank you,
our
Eric.
company, our country has to offer. She's using it to her advantage, and she's also playing both sides without even being a citizen or applying for proper citizenship. She doesn't give a fuck about that. She wants to utilize our resources that our government is giving her, and now you want to defend her by saying, "Oh, well, it's our constitutional given right." Now, I just don't abide by that. I don't appreciate that. I think it's being taken advantage of, and I think there needs to be a course correction here. Now, the hard part is trying to course correct in the way that we don't lose our actual beloved Constitution. But like, you have to acknowledge that it is being taken advantage of. It is. It's unfortunate.
It should be. That's the whole point.
No.
We don't give
What do you mean
freedom
it
of
should
speech.
be?
Freedom of speech is not something we begrudgingly
It should
give
be
people.
taken
It's
advantage
their
of in this
right.
way to destroy our own Constitution. That's
It
ridiculous.
doesn't destroy our Constitution.
Yes, it does. In the end, it does. And you know, it's already
No,
going. It's
doesn't
already going that
destroy it.
way. It absolutely
Okay,
does.
Freedom of speech doesn't destroy
Can I
You think
can I
these
give a
people
side
that are
point?
abusing freedom of speech does not take? You think that they are not trying to destroy our own government, our own Constitution?
Okay, Riddle,
Our own
Riddle,
American
Riddle,
right? It's crazy.
Riddle. Let me jump in here because I can give you a thing about the UK. So in the UK, we're getting hit by the lefty lawyers and these economic migrants that keep on coming in the country, and they keep on using the Human Rights Act. And it wasn't made up for this. It wasn't made up for this purpose. It wasn't made up for the scenarios they're making up. But because it's written and we're in it, we find it very, very, very hard to deport anyone from the UK, and that's why we're tied under this Human Rights Act, which is being abused, and it's not how it should be. A bit maybe like the Constitution, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but in reality, this is biting your ass. This shit's biting your ass on a regular. And yeah, I mean, I agree with Riddle.
Well, the thing is, like, you're arguing here that she's hurting free speech by using free speech? Wouldn't hurting free speech be taking it away?
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so there is saying in the chat right here, right? Let's see. English Bottle Cap said Riddle cannot quote what she said that is wrong. Now, here's the thing. Last Dance, did you not bring this up? Can you quote for me what she said that it is in contest?
I haven't
be
been able
posted?
to. I posted a summary,
A summary. Okay. Well, where is it?
I've read a summary.
and Smoke Steve read it out basically. the
Because
same thing.
let's see. Cap is trying to make it seem like I'm the one that's making this up, but I can't bring up evidence. I didn't bring this topic up.
I'm trying to understand at the moment. Is the article released, and if so,
It
where
is. It should be available. I just don't know where it was written on. Which
I'm out,
newspaper it was
I'm out of
written
here, lads. Take it easy. Nice one.
Hey.
Welshie?
on. Great talking to you,
Yeah.
Base. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you, Bass.
Bye-bye.
And me too, man. It's 4
All right,
o'clock
have
here.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah.
But,
You heading out,
yeah,
Lee?
good debate. And
All right.
yeah,
Good night, gents.
have a good week, all of you.
All right.
See
Have a
you
great,
next
See you around, Lee.
great Sunday, Lee.
Bye.
You know,
Yeah, Lee, you're out too.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, it's 4 a.m. here, so
Good
I
morning.
need to go and get some sleep.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good. Damn, that sucks.
All right.
He's,
3 hours of beauty
All
sleep.
right.
he's
See
gonna
you
be
soon.
he's gonna be flying a 747 in the morning. You don't want to
nightly.
have
Good
some
night.
sleep.
Good night.
If
Good
anybody wants my ticket, they can have it. I'm not. taking
All right,
it.
take it easy, just Steve-O. Thank you for
Bye, everyone.
listening in.
Let me
It's-
just point out, Lee and Base Welshman. I wouldn't if it was reversed and I was trying to stay up till 4 a.m. on your stream, I could never do it. And
I
thank
agree.
you-
I'm
I thank you so much for
I am-
being here. It's,
I'm very
it's-
thankful and aware of their sacrifice to
It's
join us,
heroic.
and I
It's
really
heroic.
appreciate
I mean, I'll be lucky to make it till midnight here. So fucking awesome. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. And now we are 4.
I see.
Sorry.
Since there's nobody who's going to argue against me except Riddle, I can talk more now. One of the issues about
I can argue.
Yeah, but one of the issues about restricting speech is that we don't know what is correct. It might be that Rumesa Ozturk is right. And do you want to silence people who are right? You don't know what's right. I mean, I think she's wrong. You think she's wrong. I'm very confident she's wrong, but she's just as confident that she's right. This is a marketplace of ideas. You have to, if you're going to optimize life on Earth, you're going to have to make that marketplace of ideas open to everyone and pick and choose the ones that work and the ones that stand the test of time.
So I'm being asked in the chat, Riddle, if you don't know what she said, why do you want her deported for it? So then you must have missed like the entire conversation.
Dean Weaver.
Like you
Take
must
care,
have missed
fellas.
all of it, Smoke Wife. No offense, but like you must have missed the entire.
Oh, Dean Weaver.
Thank you for being here, Dean Weaver.
And Cap, I don't know what she said. Dean Weaver. Well, Dean Weaver.
It would be easier to
Dean
debate this
Weaver.
point if we actually could quote whatever's going on.
Yeah,
We're kinda
because
speaking in just like beliefs and standards.
All right, I'll work harder to try and find the actual editorial.
Yeah, because Dance, you did the reason why. So to reiterate for Wife is that he brought up Dance brought up a supposed issue with what's her name, and it sounded like she was in support of Palestinian issues and stuff like that, and being a political activist and all that. And she got deported for that, or is under trial for deportation. That's why this whole thing occurred.
I think it's even broader than that. I think if America is on the America First wagon, on that train, there's going to be a lot of people that are against America First that are going to get made examples of. I just want to understand what exactly happened to make that an example. If it's just somebody that was pro-Palestine and we threw them out, that's a really weak ass option. If they did something that's heinous, if they said death to America or some bullshit like that, then yeah, I get it.
Okay, forget it.
Yeah, I just think that there should be a basic principle that if you have a student visa, and we already went over this, but now there's 4 of us, maybe it might seem just a little bit simpler. If you have a student visa, you're not.
I got it.
Yeah, we already did this, right? You should not be a political activist. It should not be like you should not be. You should not be protected by our Constitution, basically. Like you are. Let's be real here. But how much can you push it? Like there is no actual like, oh, you're protected by our free speech amendment, but by how much? Either it's all or nothing, right? And that's kind of ridiculous. And people take advantage of it all the time. And you know that they do, Dance. You know that they do.
You know,
and that's the whole point of it.
Yeah, right. To be taken advantage of to what degree? Where it just dies, everything just gets overinflated and it blows up, and we're all just like, at what point do you like to protect it as opposed to allow it to be taken advantage of?
I mean,
is that highlighted on YouTube?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think so.
To my understanding, Last Dance, this doesn't have what this girl wrote at all. This has to do with the university's view on student conduct. I don't think there's any quotable material.
Yes.
That is the editorial.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, the whole thing is written by her. Okay.
Well, she's a co-author. It's not.
It's an op-ed, so she's not the full author. Let's see.
Genesis Perez, deport.
Yeah. Rumesa, Fatima, Perez, and Ambulotus. So I would guess 2 Muslims, 1 Greek, and maybe a Spaniard.
All right. So let's be real here. But even judging by the first paragraph, would you want her to be elected into office, or as your doctor?
You see, the answer is no.
There's nothing really there.
I
Well,
wouldn't want
exactly.
her to be. I don't
Exactly.
like her. I don't believe in the things she believes. I think she's wrong. Those are
Okay.
my opinions, and I can feel free to express them, and
Mhm.
without getting deported or
Right, but
or
you're saying
sanctioned
that
in any
everybody
way.
else. But you're saying invite the world so that we can all hate each other in one country. Is what you're
But
saying.
Riddle, what in the first paragraph are you even calling out as a problem?
All right, like for example, it says right here. Immediately, it says on March 4th, the Tufts Community Union Senate passed 3 out of 4 resolutions demanding the university acknowledges the Palestinian genocide, apologize for university president Sunil Kumar's statements, disclose its investments, and divest from companies with direct or indirect ties to Israel.
Right, what's wrong with that?
These resolutions were the product of meaningful debate by the Senate and represent a sincere effort to include Israel as accountable for clear violations of international law. The problem is that it's too fucking political.
It's
But
not
they're
at
having
all
a political debate. They're literally,
Oh,
it's
a
talking
debate?
about students that are having political debate. Like, what? I don't understand what the problem with that is. You might disagree with what they're debating on, but what
Well,
do you think debate does?
because I think that you should only be able to contribute to like this to this level as a citizen. She's not a citizen. She's a student.
If you're in debate club and they debate stuff, what's the problem?
This is from a debate club?
It has to do
Because
who's debating here.
No, this is because it looks like it was posted as a paper. This is not a
Well,
debate club.
I mean, it's the Tufts Daily, so I mean, this is essentially a giant
It's
piece of crap.
it's an op-ed opinion, right? I get that, but what
But
I'm saying,
there's nothing
that's what I'm
here.
saying. You asked what I would have a problem with, and I already gave it to you in the first few sentences.
But there's nothing here. Other
I'm not
than
saying
the-
you can't be in a debate club. You can, but if you're gonna fucking post stuff in a like a political stuff and on your paper, I guess for a college, then yeah, it's probably a problem.
There was
Especially
a
with the
vote.
things you're
the
saying.
There was a
point of it-
vote
my-
that was passed. Sorry, just quickly. The Tufts Community Union Senate had a meaningful debate and passed a resolution 3 out of 4. That's what is being stated in this.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. People are debating something and pass the move.
That's not what I'm having a problem with. I get that.
Okay, I
But
just
that's
don't
not what I'm having a
understand.
problem with, dude.
I just don't. I don't see grounds for removal on a statement like that. That's stating that something happened. She's reporting on it.
And that's okay. Then you're not listening because that's not what I was saying.
I must not be listening.
Apparently, no offense.
I mean, yeah, if you think that this paragraph is grounds for removal, then so be it. That's fine. I'm not going to change your mind, Riddle, and you're not going to change mine. So that's that. Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I detest what this person is saying, but I don't believe it excels over some line of, revoking their visa.
Okay.
Personally.
All right.
But I, again, don't like them. I just don't want to give up anything.
It's all right.
I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to.
How are you gonna lose
I'm
anything?
already an American citizen. I was born here. It's not like I'm going to lose anything from this, but
Yeah. What are you worried about?
it's the same thing. It's the old adage with gun laws. You don't want to give up anything because once you lose a little, you can lose a little more. And you're in California, dude. So
slippery.
I'm in
It's a
Massachusetts.
slippery slope. Yeah, and I know all about slippery slopes. Once you take away one thing, they introduce
Exactly.
everything else to take away it all. So
All of a sudden, you can only buy a 9mm personal
Right.
carbine, and your
yeah.
AR-15 is 1 billion miles away.
Right.
That's what I look at this as. I'm like, I don't want to give up anything, and I'm not going to care if this dumb fucking student fucking.
Interesting,
Exactly.
because it's funny because you're allowing more. I get what you're saying, but it's like applied uh, inversely. Like you take away more from the citizens with that kind of logic, obviously, right? But then you're giving more leeway to people that are not citizens, and now they're just comfortable in doing this kind of stuff, and they are. They're absolutely comfortable with this kind of rhetoric, and it's fine. According to you, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't be so political if you are working on a student visa. Like, you will absolutely, you should, like, I think it's just disrespectful. Like, yeah, you have a freedom of speech, I guess a little bit too, right? According to Dance, right, you should have full freedom of speech, like full, just as a U.S. citizen should, right? Fully
Yes.
equal. Okay. Yeah, I disagree. I simply disagree, and I think it's absolutely ludicrous that we just take this as a standard nowadays.
Okay, so
unfortunate.
who decides what speech should be deportable?
The people do.
Well, there are people don't.
If we
never
You have,
voted.
you have
if we elect a president, then it speaks for the people.
So
Some
you
of
think the president should decide if somebody who's not a citizen can be deported for something they say?
I'm sorry, say it again.
So you believe it should be the president's decision?
No, I said the people.
Well, you're not going to have a national referendum on every single person.
Ah, exactly. So how do we actually decide this?
I'm asking you. You think that people should be deported for some speech. So
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
asking you who decides who gets deported.
I guess if they're not a citizen and they're talking about crazy rhetoric of political aspects, and there has been a lot of terrorist attacks lately, then yes, you should not be able to speak about it
Yeah, but who decides
if you're
that?
not a citizen. Well, I don't. Good question. I guess the president, right?
Well, that's who's trying to decide it.
Well, I mean, who else do we have?
I mean, what makes the president, they're just supposed to execute the laws of the United States. They're not, we don't,
Oh
we
yeah,
don't,
they're just supposed to execute the laws of what the people voted for. I guess. Okay, well then I guess that's what it is. Shit. I mean, like I don't agree with everything that Trump does, but guess what? Here we are.
but you want to give him,
We're in an imperfect nation, aren't we? We've always been.
you want to give him the right to decide which legal residents should be deported for lawful aliens should be deported for things they publicly say.
Yes, if they are here for a long time, which clearly she has been. She's 30 years old. She's going for her PhD doctorate. She's not just starting out. If she was just starting out, I would have much more leniency. No. She's 30 years old plus, and she's 30 plus, and she's going for a PhD. She knows what she's doing. She's not stupid. She's getting a PhD, and she's been abusing this. Let's be real here.
It's not abuse.
Look, just abuse isn't always, according to you, bad, isn't it?
Do you not abuse only things? Abuse because you disagree with her?
Well, what do you mean? That's not the. Well, is that the technical definition of abuse? I'm pretty
well,
sure
you wouldn't call it abuse. You would call it abuse if everything
you overuse something
you agreed with.
If you overuse, of course, I wouldn't say that because that's just political rhetoric, right? But it sounds like
one person's political rhetoric is another person's abuse. Abuse.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I haven't heard any about this person, right? Anything before until you mentioned it. But from what it sounds like, it just sounds like she is abusing it.
Why is it abuse? I'm trying to see what the abuse is. What's the abuse?
Okay. Because if you've been here for a long time, right? Like how many years? It's been probably 8 years. For a doctorate, you're probably going in for at least 8 years.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
It has to do with time. If you're not going to be here in the United States and you're just using it for its education, and over time, you could easily get a citizenship, but you don't want to.
That's the deal. That's the deal we enter into
There are
voluntarily.
4 lights. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah. Well,
Good to see you,
yeah,
man.
exactly. That's my point. Is I would trust Trump not one iota to decide what speech is okay and what isn't. He only cares about if he's, if his boots are licked. That's the only thing he cares about. If she had said,
Yeah, okay.
if
that's
she
fine.
had said somewhere in that article how great President Trump is, but everything else was the same, there's no chance she would be in
Right.
fear of deportation now.
Okay.
It's just a new bearer.
And so you brought this example up, right? So we have no idea what she actually said, right?
The article that he just shared.
A link on this.
No.
You can read it. It's
This
not that
isn't all
long.
of it. I mean, this isn't all of it, right?
It's all of it.
It is.
This
It
is
is.
the only thing.
This is all of it.
This
This
is
is all of it.
It's the
I see. All right. Well,
It's an article criticizing the Senate president, and that's it.
the Senate of
yeah. I mean,
Tufts
she's
University.
Yeah, she's
That's,
woke.
well,
and
yes, the
it's-
Senate of the
it's-
university.
It sounds like she's pretty woke, and
Senate.
she's pretty. I don't know.
She's criticizing the president of the university for
You- so
ignoring
you-
the
so you're-
resolution passed by the
Let's
student
figure,
senate.
when you see somebody that's clearly somebody that's against you, when they see you, they don't like you.
Yeah,
You're still in support of that.
I'm supportive of their right to say
The right to say so.
the right
But
to
when
say
they're
so.
but when they're in a
Absolutely.
position where they can actually do something to you, or actually start influencing people, then you would still
Then I'm in
have that
support
same
of the
support.
Second Amendment.
The second, well, okay. Well, when they start electing lots of people that are trying to kind of chip away at your Second Amendment, and then what
Well,
do you
yeah,
start
that's-
doing then?
Yeah,
You're
yeah, I
moving into
agree.
Minority Report.
We all have to. That's why we all have to be, passionate about the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, including the First Amendment, which is one of the many amendments that I am passionate about.
Now, what do you mean by Minority Report?
If you're saying, well, what if this person does all these things to you, but they didn't? So if we're going to throw people out because they might possibly do something in the future, that's very different than if they did something.
Jesus Christ.
This
Okay,
girl
so-
had a critique and a different point of view. That's all she had. If this is all that there was to throw her out of our country, it's a very weak argument. It doesn't. We are not even standing on our own beliefs to throw her out of the country for what this is.
Wait, is this the only thing that is that it?
To my understanding, this is the only information there is for why this woman was thrown away. That's why I'm saying if she was part of some type of terrorist organization that was actively, bringing people into their organization or whatever, then there's more grounds for reasoning. But if this article that was put out that criticizes the president of Tufts University is all that there is, it's a very weak argument for us Americans to throw her out for her freedom of speech.
RW, I can confirm there was no other reason.
There you go.
So this is it. It's just this one article.
Yes. That's why there is controversy. If she was actually a real threat, I don't think this would be a thing. Now, I do think her opinion is shit. I do think it's a piece of fucking garbage, and
Yeah.
I think she fucking sucks. But that doesn't mean that everything that anyone who sucks fucking says should be like, who's just on a visa, should be removed from the country.
Okay.
Otherwise, then we'd have, what are we trying to make some kind of a homogenous state? I mean, like, that's not what we're looking for,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, to me, you guys sound like a bunch of fucking progressive assholes. I'll just say that. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
you really do.
I love you too, Riddle.
I mean, no. I'm sorry. I just please don't kick me off again.
Can we get that in writing?
No, I'm just like, what I mean. I simply disagree, and but I get you guys' point, right? I get it. I really don't like it because I see, like, I live in California. I see what progressivism does to the state. It it slowly destroys everything. In different ways that you wouldn't think. But yes, I get what you're saying. Like she should be free to say this, but not really. But to what degree? I mean, there is a slippery stuff. Go ahead.
Once this individual was thrown out, at this university, was there the camps, the Gaza camps outside this university?
Is this one of those?
Because if there was, and all of that camp was thrown out as well, there was a butterfly effect that happened from her removal. It was like
she's still here.
Okay.
Cap says Riddle don't like losing to. I don't know what I lost. I'm pretty sure that I just have a disagreement with you guys.
I don't think it's losing or not. It's we're just having a discussion.
Like there's people that I agree with you guys on some aspects. It's just the way that it's implemented. I don't like certain things because I see like anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt. Anyways, go ahead. My bad.
If the heavy hand given to this woman caused the disruption of the Gaza camps on the university, I mean, it could just be considered a chess move, a shitty chess move that got the results that they were after.
Yeah, you could say that.
Because I'm pretty sure that event was pretty much the same time that all these camps were done away with on all these different universities. Pretty much the same timeline.
Yeah, I think those camps were done away. Well, it's hard to say. I mean, of course, Trump would take credit for every turn that goes his way, but
I mean the America First narrative that Trump is leading.
Yeah, I think the reason those camps were dismantled is because they were disruptive, and people complained who were at the university complained about it, and the university decided that it was against university rules anyways, so they had to go.
Some of them were literally assaulting students, so it was a legitimate problem. Like that's not even a free speech thing. That's like a harassment, coercion shit.
Well, boys, we're wrapping it up.
All right.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Smoke Steve, for hosting it. It was a treat as always, and have a great new year, dude.
You have a great one too, my friend.
And a great week as well, and I will see you soon.
RW, take care.
Appreciate it, man. I'll see you later.
See ya. Everybody, have a nice night. Get yourself into the new year. Be healthy. Take it easy. Be friendly. And be positive. I love you all. And thus ends another pub